All right, chat. We are here today. We got PCE inflation data dropping. Honestly, I thought they scheduled it to be 10:30 instead. But apparently, or to be 10 a.m. instead, but apparently it's still going to be at 8:30. So, yeah, data is going to be dropping at 8:30 for both PCE data and GDP data, both dropping at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So it's back to normal. It's back to basically what it was. I'm not sure why Market Watch had it for 10, but for whatever reason, you know, yeah. So for now, the data's coming at 10, or for 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then we got some stuff dropping at 10, but it's nothing big. So yeah, we got NBA 30-year mortgage rates dropping pretty soon too. Or no, they're already out, aren't they? Let me see. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. I'll make myself a little bit smaller so I can. And look at gold, guys. Gold's up a little bit today. Remember, we bought that Bitcoin dip. We're up really nice. Really nice. Remember, we bought it at around, where did we buy this? We bought it about like 92. So we're up to almost 94s for Bitcoin now. Bitcoin tapped 94 this morning. So our thesis there, if you guys heard me yesterday, was absolutely correct. Bitcoin did bounce back, you know, on this quiet holiday week, which is what I expected it to do. What's up, Sam, Elvin, Vita, Beach, Pawn? I know I'm streaming a little bit early today, guys. Y'all do me a favor, hit that like button. We broke 150,000, guys. That's crazy. We did break 150K. That's really fun, man. And so thanks so much for helping me get there, guys. I appreciate you all. So let's put, I can put the expected numbers up. Would you guys rather like 2 scrollers here? I might be able to do like 2 scrollers here. Let me see. Forgive me. We're fixing this now. So PCE is expected. At core PCE month over month is expected at and this is the bigger report, right? GDP drops at 8:30, PCE drops at 8:30 as well, but core PCE month over month is expected at 0.3%. GDP is expected at what are y'all showing for GDP expectations here? I'm showing 2.8%. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make this scrolling here. I know there's a way to do it. Hold on. There's some type of addition I can add to it. Filters, scroll. Let's make it scroll a little bit slower. There we go. And then I could probably just drop this right here, right? What do you guys think of this? We made it a little bit slower. And it's probably a little bit cleaner here too, huh? Let me know if you guys like that. Yeah. I think that works. I could also maybe lower it too if you guys would prefer to lower it. Like, look, I could put it down here. A little distracting maybe. All right. I could also put myself up here so you guys can actually see this data a little bit more cleanly. Would you guys rather it like go through me? I guess it's kind of cool if it goes through me. Yeah, we did break 150,000, guys. That's crazy. On top, I guess I could put it on top. You're right. I could put it right there. What do you guys think? Would you guys prefer? Let me do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll on this. This is a good poll. Do you prefer the scroller stacked on top of each other on the bottom of screen, or one on top, one on bottom? Here, I'll just ask the chat this. Top and bottom, I mean. Yeah. But there's no green banner. The green is just the Chrome tabs that I have open. So there's no green banner. I think this is much cleaner, actually. So we'll just keep it like this. Anyways, we'll ask people. PC inflation today, guys. Yeah. Yeah, this is perfect, I think. All right, so PCE inflation is expected today at core PCE inflation. We really have two major reports. We got GDP data and PCE today. Both of these are pretty big. So we'll just ask, are you bullish and bearish on today's PCE and GDP reports? I wonder if there's a better emoji I can use for a bull. Yeah, this will have to work. Are you bullish or bearish on today's GDP and PCE reports? Guys, let me know how you feel. Yeah, I kind of like the new screen. I think the new screen works. You know, it gives you kind of an update. I like the blue and the yellow on the bottom. I do think the blue and yellow on the bottom looks good. I also like it how I can kind of put myself in it, like it is. I think this specific setup is clean. I need to save this. But yeah, I like it. This is clean. Data releases at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Alright guys, so we got about an hour and a half. Let me get a timer up here too. A little bit less than an hour and a half. We got an hour and 18 and like 20 seconds. There we go. Alright, so here's the timer up here too. Gold's popping up though. Honestly, my portfolio is pretty green today. I'm wondering if I should buy. Everything's very green, right? Like the only one. Let's see. Yeah. Cool. All right. So well, no, the bottom one's big because it's the disclaimer, and the top one's just news. But I can try to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. Yeah, let me know if this is better. I made it a little bit larger. That's what I did. Tad bit larger. I think that works good. Again, look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's down under 21,000 this morning. What is this right here? Let me put this up next to me here. So here's the timer. There's nothing blocking too much of the charts. I'll put it on the right side of the screen right here. So yeah, looking at the SPY is still right at 600 bucks. We did have a really nice green day yesterday, day trading. So we'll see if we can build it up again today. I'll get a haircut, man. It's time. So the FOMC minutes report came out yesterday. Kind of moved the market a little bit. Wasn't a huge like move or anything like that. I'm looking at the FOMC likelihood of rate changes here. So the likelihood of a 25 basis point cut went up a little bit here. So it actually went up some. Interesting. Exit out of some stuff. I don't know if I accidentally exited out of everything. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, the time's now in the title as well. We put the time in the title. Yeah, so we put the timer in the title. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Why is Nvidia down again? I don't know if there's always a reason Nvidia's down. I think sometimes it's just down, man. I think it's not going to go straight up, and it's already made one of the biggest moves we've seen in stock history, short term, you know, over the last few years. And so it's not going to go straight up. I think it's reasonable to assume it's going to drop sometimes. You know, that's how it goes. I was hoping Bitcoin would hold its overnight gains. Put yourself in the right corner. Well, no, because part of it is like I'm blocking my green screen here, and so like I can, but I guess I could do it like this, and it's not going to change much. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's pretty clean, I think. Yeah, core PCE is the one you want to pay attention to. So we get PCE inflation data is the big one. Look at the SPY move up some here. So the SPY is heading up a little bit on this report. Don't look at price per share, look at market cap. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I think it's gonna correct some. Like, people act like this thing has to go straight up, right? Here's a 45-minute chart, basically an hour chart. But like, it's funny. It's like Nvidia. Okay, let me put it this way. 6 years ago, Tesla, the stock, had so many freaking haters regarding the stock. So many people hated Tesla, right? And it created this nuance of everything in which shorts got squeezed out regularly on Tesla. Everybody hated Tesla. Everybody talked smack about Tesla. Everybody made fun of Tesla stock. But meanwhile, Tesla would just go and go and go and go and go, and everybody made fun of it. And so again, if you find yourself in a position where you're hating a stock, or you're disliking a stock, or you're constantly talking bad about a stock, somewhere you've been misled, right? Blue chips are going to give gains like this, pretty regularly. And if you look at the last century of stock market data, like, you're going to have blue chip strength like this. Individual sectors are going to pop off. Technology is going to evolve, and you're going to get like the internet boom. And the internet boom did cause a crash, just to clarify, but still, Nvidia is a very similar nuance where I see a lot of people hating on Nvidia. A lot of people hating on Nvidia, acting like it's up too much. Like, Nvidia will literally go like this. Here, let me exit out of some of this. I don't want to have too much stuff up here. I want to kind of keep it clean. So the 30-year mortgage rate came out, and it actually went down a little bit. So we did get the 30-year mortgage rate come out here, chat. And I'll put a different text box up for news. And most of the time I'll keep this hidden. But yeah, so 30-year mortgage rate did come out. It actually came in lower than last time. But yeah, Nvidia has a very similar thing where people are just hating on it, and it just kind of continues to go up in their face, right? I'm not saying it should or it shouldn't, but yeah, you can kind of see the new mortgage rate here. Wait, here. So you can see the new mortgage rate come out. Mortgage rate did show up a little bit lower than expected, slightly lower. Let me see if I can put a filter background on this thing. There we go. So yeah, there's the mortgage rate. Mortgage rate did show up. I guess and again, I'm not saying Nvidia doesn't correct. To clarify, I think there's a big possibility that Nvidia corrects, right? I think it's up so much, it's bound to correct eventually. But I don't think you should be trying to short it. Like, that's the dumbest trade you could ever get involved with. That's the dumbest trading strategy you could ever get involved with. And I talked about this yesterday. Like, trying to pick the tops of the healthiest companies in the world is dumb, right? It's just not smart. It's not, you're trading against the biggest statistical edge the stock market ever gives anybody, and really in finance. You're trading against the biggest statistical edge in finance, and it's dumb. And everybody wants to be contrarian, and they watch The Big Short, and they think that they're going to be the ones to do it, and then it just rips up in their face, right? And then they cry about it and say, manipulation, it's up too much, you'll see. And then it just keeps on going. Like, at a certain point, I just have to scoff at that, man. I'm not even trying to be snooty here, but come on now, guys. Stop trying to pick the tops of the healthiest companies in the world. Maybe you're right, but the risk is unnecessary. The reward doesn't outweigh the risk in that situation, I think. Yeah, I mean, we could look at Nvidia's numbers, right? Like, I think the easiest way to always look at this is to look at their margins, right? So Nvidia margins, like, let's look at the percentage increase or decrease, right? So if we look back at Nvidia in January of 2023, we could actually go lower. We can go October of 2022, 3 cents a share EPS, right? 3 cents a share EPS going back to October 31st, 2022. If we look at Nvidia, October 2022, Nvidia was at $12.31 a share. $12.31 a share. And so if we look at the percentage increase, right? The percentage increase from where it was priced, we're just going to call it $12 to $136 is about 1,000%, roughly 1,000%. The percentage increase in EPS from that low at 3 cents a share, and again, there might be some extension. I'm not saying there isn't. I always like to look at this to see like the actual change. To 78 cents a share, 3 cents a share to 78 cents a share. That is a 2,500% increase. So one is 1,000%. right? The stock price has gone up about 1,000% since October of 2022. Their earnings per share have gone up 2,500%. And so, you know, people like to act like Nvidia is just so much more extended on the upside than it is now. But if you look at their margins, they correlate. You know, they correlate. Like they're making much more money net wise, like net profit wise, than they were 2 years ago. And if we're looking at it, you know, there is a somewhat of a justification for the move up. Now, is there a super justification? No, I think when you look at revenue, when you isolate revenue, we can do the same thing with revenue, and I think it actually favors the other side. So, but the question you have to ask yourself is, what's more important, margins or revenue? I think a lot of people would say margins are. But if we go back to the same period of time, October 2022, they were at about $6 billion in revenue. $6 billion in revenue. Today they're at $35 billion in revenue. And so if we look at the same kind of trend here, $6 to $35, that's about a 500% increase for Nvidia, right? So that underperforms how much their stock price is up. So I guess when you take into account EPS, which is margins, and revenue, you know, I don't think it's super one-sided there. You know, I don't think it's super one-sided. NASDAQ pushed it up a little bit. So the big number right here, I think, that we have to pay attention to is 21K. But it should be agree to disagree. Like, it's all good. This is all very subjective, very speculative things here that we have to recognize, right? Nobody freaking knows. And we'll see what happens. I guess my point is, like, you could also argue the other end of that and say, hey, well, it's following a good graph or whatever. Yeah, so their margins have increased 2,500% when their stock price is up about 1,000%. Their revenue has increased about 500% when their stock price is up 1,000%, right? So margins have gotten better, revenue trend has gotten a little bit worse, right? But you know, at a certain point, scalability has to play, like it has to be taken into account. Like you can only scale so much so quickly in terms of revenue. But it's all good. It's all up. Like it doesn't matter. We can always, you know, we can agree to disagree about some stuff. It's all good. I'm not even saying Nvidia holds its gains, right? All I'm saying is that if we look at the margins today versus what they were 2 years ago, and you look at that percentage increase versus the stock price percentage increase, they're comparable, right? It's not like if Nvidia was up so much in stock price, but their margins have gotten worse. Sure, that's a problem, but that's not the case. With that said, though, I think it's still very possible Nvidia comes back down. You know, when you look at a long-term chart, and Nvidia leads the market. I've talked about this before. I think if the market does crash, it's going to look something like Nvidia correcting big quickly. People freak out, and the whole market tumbles down because of it, right? I think that's the most plausible crash scenario that we have over the next few years, in my opinion, right? I think that's the most plausible one, which is again specifically caused by Nvidia. I think the market follows Nvidia to a T. And the other cool thing is I can kind of zoom in on these charts like this. MicroStrategy just benefiting from Bitcoin. I also think there's risks anytime a company is that exposed to just one specific asset. I think there's risks, but Michael Saylor, really smart dude, you know, obviously a really smart guy. Given Bitcoin ETFs, do you think if Nvidia crashes, there's a chance it affects Bitcoin prices? Well, maybe, but I don't know if it's going to be like, I think there's a chance if the market crashes, Bitcoin goes up and vice versa, you know. Although nothing, like all we can really do is speculate there. Mortgages did go down though, so mortgage rates did drop a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I get it, Guy and Van. And again, it's all good, bro. Again, we can always isolate one metric and say, hey, this is underperforming or this is good. But I think you have to look at the big picture. And the big picture is margins. And the margins have gone up 2,500% in the last 2 years versus the stock price going up 1,000%, right? So margins have outperformed stock price increase percentage-wise. So, I mean, but the stock market, especially prices and stocks, are not directly, based off of company health. It's based off perception. And so good and bad swings can happen on these stocks, and you just got to be ready for them. MicroStrategy up a lot today as well with Bitcoin's rise. He wants to become the world's Bitcoin bank. Maybe he does, man. We'll see. Yo, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, chat. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Continue to bump those numbers up, chat. We appreciate it. Buffett holding so much cash. Yeah. I prefer to buy Merck or NVO than Nvidia 100x times. Even KO is better than Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia's up right now a lot. For 100% agree. I'm not really interested in adding shares to Nvidia right now. I just don't think it makes sense. It's up too much. Maybe if we get a decent pullback, sure. But we need a big pullback first. I agree. Again, I'm not. People hear me defending Nvidia a little bit, but it's not like I'm ready to buy it up. I think it's up too much. I think if you want to take it long term, take it long term, and DCA. Not an investment professional though. I'm not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. All that good stuff. Do not copy me. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Not an investment professional. With that said, I think Nvidia is going to probably go up long term. Short term, who freaking knows? But there's always variables that can happen. Like another company can eat Nvidia, take their business. Like a lot of stuff could happen in business. Nothing is immune to time. Anyways, Nvidia is still up a lot. We're going to get ready to trade some this morning here. We made some money yesterday. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to lock ourselves out like we do. If we trade, we'll trade stocks this morning. And we're going to lock ourselves out of Top Step X again today. That's it. We're going to do it. We're going to lock ourselves out. Look, this is really cool, honestly. We're going to lock ourselves out until 8:25. 8:25. Boom. Locked out. I'm now locked out until market open. I can't trade. That's 9:25 market time. So I am now locked out. Can't trade. If I trade, I'll trade stocks. But honestly, it helped me. I made money yesterday. And not only did I make money yesterday, but my trades were a lot less swingy, a lot less big, a lot less emotional, and a lot easier to trade. And so my big mistake, I think, recently is I'm just trading too much in pre-market where it's low liquidity. All right, Nvidia falling down. With all this said, Nvidia down, testing the lows of pre-market. I think we got to pay attention to some of these lows here. Look, so let's take a look at this level right here. I think this level looks interesting. And look at the bounce right off of it. So this level looks interesting. Obviously, I think we got to pay attention to like the low of the day here on Nvidia right here. I think we got to watch that. And then I think we got to look at the top of this range too, which is, it's been rejecting off the 200 exponential. But the top of the range, I would say, is probably about right here. And so let's see if that holds for Nvidia. We got the 200 exponential right there. The NASDAQ is now over the 200 exponential. And so you can kind of see this little mini trend on the NASDAQ here. It's over the 200 EMA. The SPY over the 200 exponential as well. Chat. So we got some room there too. Hey, what's up, Beach Bum? Yeah, sorry, Pawn. I haven't even pulled up my Discord today, brother. Speaking of that, join our Discord, guys. Completely free, doesn't cost anything. So SARK, the short Kathy Woods ARK fund ETF did a reverse split this morning and is halted. SARK Somebody explain SARK to me. Is this shorting Kathy? What is this shorting? So somebody said short Kathy Wood. So is this shorting Kathy Wood investments, or is this a Kathy Wood ETF that shorts something else? I'm assuming it's the latter, because I don't think people are shorting Kathy Wood's picks like Kramer. CrowdStrike earnings beat estimates despite expected headwinds from global outreach. So let's look at CrowdStrike. Honestly, CrowdStrike still negatively reacting to earnings, and it should be. Honestly, this thing had one of the worst glitches in tech history. This thing took out airlines and all kind of stuff, and then rebounded all the way back up to where it was. Like, look. So this thing had one of the biggest. Like, look at this drop. This thing was at 380s prior to that, and it basically came all the way back up to 360s, 350s. So, you know, I'm surprised CrowdStrike is not even down much from when this happened, but it did gap down from earnings. So you do see CrowdStrike down from earnings. Volkswagen is going to sell one of their factories in overseas. Volkswagen has struck an agreement to exit its car factory overseas following years of pressure from investors and activists. Oil is having a crazy morning, being talked about with tariffs news and stuff like that. So if you look at oil, which is like /CL and futures here, you can take a look at /CL. There's CL. Crude futures. It's kind of choppy now. One of the most obvious ranges we see here, though. I don't know what I should do with this, but there's oil. Bet against Kathy Wood's ARK fund. Okay, got you. Yeah. So it wasn't the latter, it was the first one. Interesting here. So honestly, I don't hate Kathy Wood's picks, right? But they're long-term bets, and I think she's too emotional about it, which I can't really judge too much, right? I think she buys up stuff when they're at the top, and I think that's risky, and that's opposite of how I typically like to trade. But she has a much higher net worth than I do, so who freaking cares? You know, Kathy Wood, super... let me see some of her recent investments. Let me use AI for this too. I think AI will break this down pretty quickly for me, right? What are some of Kathy Wood's recent investments in the last year? Kathy Wood, I spelled her name absolutely wrong. She bet on the EV sector, tech sector, fintech, AI, biotech. The actual symbols, not just the sectors. All right, so here's some of the companies. Shopify. Let's take a look at some of these. I think she's probably going to do well with most of these long term, though. Like, here's Shopify. Daily chart. Up a lot. Up a lot so far this year. So yeah, I think she's going to do good with most of these. DraftKings is up a decent amount too. Had a little tumble, but still up. Nvidia. All right, so I told AI to list the date she bought them. She bought Amazon in November. She bought Amazon on November 25th. That might have been something that helped my little dip by here. I bought Amazon. Average price of 198. It's at 207s right now. Looks great. Honestly, looks great. She bought AMD November 25th. Wait, when did I make these buys, guys? Because I'm seeing Kathy Wood bought two of the same stocks I did on the same freaking day. I think I bought them actually a couple days before she did. She bought them on November 25th. She bought Palantir and Nvidia. See, and stuff like Nvidia, I think she's buying up a little bit too high. You know, the problem is she buys up really hyped up stocks, And some of these stocks are just up too much for me, right? For my taste. They're just up too much. Yeah, I bought them Friday. Yeah, I bought them on the 22nd. That'd be funny if she watched my stream, you know? Yeah. And again, I'm up a lot in all of them. I'm already taking profit in most of them, you know? My Bitcoin ETF's up big too. Remember I bought that thing at like 92K. Hey, what's up, Douglas? Are you the Douglas X mod that I used to have? The one that used to mod for me? If you are, hope you're doing well, brother. I saw one a few weeks ago that said ARK was up only 5% this year when the market's up 25%. Yeah. Anything else that looks good for a dip buy today? I'm going to wait until inflation data drops, but I am looking for some dips. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Hey, nice, Douglas. Hope you're doing good, brother. Any thoughts on MicroStrategy? Will it bounce today? I mean, I think like asking whether MicroStrategy is going to bounce is basically asking whether Bitcoin is going to bounce, and I have no idea, right? Like I bought a Bitcoin ETF to lead into the holiday, and I'm green on it, but I don't know what it's going to do. I hope it goes up, you know, obviously. Chocolate stocks? I don't know, man. You got to think about it like this. Like the actual quarter is not going to fall right on time with the fiscal quarter, you know? So. Hey, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Do we have 100 likes yet? We should, right? Remember, we got GDP data coming out too. We got GDP data dropping at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, so now some people are saying it comes out at 10 a.m. today, guys. Wait, guys, what time do you have the GDP data and the PCE data releasing? Because I'm showing multiple different time frames for each. We're going to cover it at 8:30 if it releases. But my sources all show something different. So core PCE I'm showing is expected today in 51 minutes at 2.8% year over year and 0.3% month to month. GDP expected at 2.8% year to year. What? PCE and GDP expected the same thing. Hey, jobless claims. Wait. Oh, we also have jobless claims today, man. Sheesh, dude, I forgot. We got all this stuff today. Damn. Okay. What time do you guys show the releases out? An hour before the open. 8:30. There's no core CPI 30 minutes after the opening bell. There's no CPI today. CPI is the first 2 weeks after. CPI drops right at the middle of the month. It's not going to be today. 8:30? Okay. Well, yeah, GDP's at 8:30 for sure. But I'm trying to see about PCE data, inflation data. Okay, we still got an hour before it comes out, but I'm curious here. I want to know. Like, I see the PCE price index year over year. It comes out at 10, but I forgot we got jobless claims too, man. I don't even know how to title my stream today. We got too much stuff going on, dude. So some people, I'm still showing some people showing the data release at 10. Let me ask AI. Some sources are showing both GDP and PCE month over month at 8:30 Eastern. Others show PCE at 10 and GDP at 8:30. Which one is it? Check the actual government website. Yeah, because I'm showing different results here. According to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, the release scheduled for Wednesday, November 27th is 8:30 GDP third quarter, third estimate, 10 a.m. PCE data. Here's the source. Let's take a look at it. Here's the release schedule. Okay, yeah, I think it's right. Okay, I think it's right. Call it 300. PCE at 10. Yeah, I've shown a lot of places have it at 10. It's just weird. Hey, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. How many points do you think we moved today? I'm calling it 300. You think Jones and Aspinall will fight next? I hope so, bro. I wonder the people who are like, Jones shouldn't have to fight Aspinall. Like, dude, why are you telling Jones? Why do you want Jones not to fight the best person, the most exciting fight? Everybody knows. I think Jones versus Aspinall is going to do much bigger numbers than Pereira versus Jones. Nobody wants to see Pereira versus Jones. Definitely a smaller percentage of people, because everybody knows Jones is just going to take Pereira down and submit him. Everybody wants to see Jones versus Aspinall, and so for somebody to not want to see that fight just to defend Jones because Jones doesn't want to fight him, it's just kind of like, all right, and I think Jones is the GOAT, like the greatest of all time. I really do. I think Jones is the greatest. I think he's beaten everybody, but I think I want to see him fight Aspinall personally. Nvidia's not crashing. Nvidia's not even under the lows of the day, the previous low of the day. It's down a little bit, but hey, thank you, Radical. I appreciate it, brother. He's way bigger and younger. Yeah, but if Jones wants to fight at heavyweight, he better move him. He better get ready to fight heavyweights. Yeah. Him trying to fight a middleweight in Pereira, it's just kind of like, all right, bro. All right, so Nvidia is breaking down. It's kind of dragging a lot of stuff down. I see AMD falling down some here as well. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like what. Yeah, so GDP third quarter. Who releases PCE data? Because we also have jobless claims unemployment's coming out today. U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So it's at 10 a.m. PCE's at 10. I'm showing everywhere. PCE's at 10. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. So that's that. So we got PCE data at 10, and then we got jobless claims, unemployment. Yeah. Okay, so that's what it is. We have to save this here and then swap this out. PCE report. And then cut this. Bear with me, guys. Since the schedule's kind of changed a little bit, so Nvidia bouncing right at that low. I wonder if it's going to continue breaking down. All right, so we got this little bounce up. Bear with me, guys. I'm here. Let's see what Nvidia does. Oh, crap. Yeah, there we go. Yes, we got GDP coming out. We also have PCE data coming out. All right. Hey, thank you, Radical. Lost 50K on Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, guys, though, like, okay. How do you lose $15,000 or 25K? I see somebody saying 25K. How do you do that? Explain it, please. I'm genuinely curious. How do you do that on Nvidia right now? So, like, let's put a daily chart up on Nvidia, right? This is Nvidia on the year, right? So, if you lose $15,000 to $30,000 on Nvidia from this right here, like, my question is, how does this happen, right? Like, what kind of sizing are you using if you're taking genuinely, like, hold on, I might have to reset my epic pin here. Hold on, chat. Yeah, so what kind of sizing are you using if you genuinely lose? Where's my pin at? Yeah, what kind of sizing are you using if you genuinely lose $25,000 from this move right here on a daily chart, right? Like, that must be some massive freaking size. And again, if you're losing that much, you're trading way too large. You know, you should never take that big of size on this thing, man. Look at it. You know, this, again, it's done this. This is 2024, right? And so if you lost $20,000, $30,000 from this little bitty baby pullback here, you're trading way too large. Way too large. You got to chill out. That's way too big of size. Call it stupid all year and then FOMO at the top. Yeah, I mean, FOMO, 100%. I wanted Nano to be proud. Options, maybe. Yeah, options will do it too. Options bring out the freaking gamblers, bro. I'm not even trying to hate. Like, options, though. I know so many people that just gamble. Like, they just gamble away. They gamble so much on options that, like they gotta chill out. Like, they're trading way too big, way too large. Like, you don't need to trade that big, man. You don't need to trade that big. It's too big. It's too big of size. I'm trying to figure out what hat should I go with today, bro. I got, like, my wife. I got too many hats here. I'm gonna go with camo. Is the timing correct now? Well, yeah, we have GDP data and jobless claims unemployment still at 8:30, right? So we still got big data release at 8:30. It's just not PCE inflation data. So just to put this into perspective, guys, just to show you kind of the gang of reports we have today, we have two major reports today, right? We got GDP data coming out. It's third revision data. I believe it's third revision. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it's the second estimate. So let me break this down. All right, so every GDP drops, and each quarter they have one number that they continuously update month to month, right? And so originally you have the advance estimate. It's the most volatile, unknown, unpredictable report that nobody freaking knows, right? It's called the advance estimate. They use prelim data. It's the least accurate. It causes the most volatility in markets because it's the original estimate of what GDP will be for that specified quarter, right? So it's more varied, more variance heavy. Investors and policymakers use this as the first official snapshot of quarterly GDP. Then you have the second estimate, which is today. Right. So today we have what's called the second estimate GDP. It's released about 1 month after the end of the quarter. It's prelim, or no, I'm sorry. It's released 1 month after the previous advance estimate, about 2 months after the quarter ends. It incorporates more complete and updated data such as trade balances, inventory data, and revisions to early estimates. It offers a more accurate measure of GDP and often closely watched for adjustments that could signal changes in economic trends. And then the last one is the third estimate, the final estimate. It's based on the most complete and final data available, represents the most accurate GDP, all that good stuff. I'm going to change this timer here. I realize the top is probably wrong now. All right, so jobless claims, data, and GDP first revision data. We also have core PCE data at 10 a.m. So far the schedule for today is at 8:30. We get jobless claims, we get GDP, we get durable goods. We get durable goods orders, jobless claims data, and GDP data. GDP is expected at 2.8% for the second revision report. Jobless claims are expected at 215,000. All right, there we go. We updated the top of the screen for you guys so you guys can see the most accurate report here. SPY bounced it up a little bit. Let's see what Nvidia is doing short term. Did Nvidia bounce right at the bottom? Yep, bounced right at the bottom, kind of in a neutral sideways range here. Remember, we drew this support level earlier, and that's exactly what happened. We bounced directly off of it. Yeah, we got 35 minutes. When put up the clock if you can. I'm not gonna say there might be like a timer. Actually, the timer's a little bit hidden, but look right here. Wait. Yeah, look in this area right here. There's a timer right next to me. Yeah, I mean, Ty, you know you can't promote other channels without asking here, bro. Actually, so you're responding about Nvidia data here, and so I'll go ahead and take you out of timeout, Ty, if it lets me. Let me see if it lets me. I guess it won't let me. Sorry, Ty. My bad. But again, you can't promote other channels. I didn't mean to put you in timeout for that long, though, and now it won't let me take you out. Put user in timeout. Oh well. You'll be alright. Sorry, bro. Thanks for this channel. Up my savings. Hey, what's up, Ruben? Oops. Yeah, sorry, bro. I didn't mean it. I did mean it. But, I mean, you should have been promoting other people without asking. It's too hard for me to vet whoever you're promoting, bro. Let's see. 1.8 thousand seconds. How long is that? Let's do the math here. Let's see how many minutes I banned him for. 1.8 thousand seconds. 30 minutes. Ooh, man, 30-minute ban. Hey, listen, you'll come out right before the economic data is here. So I guess it works out. Yeah. Do 10 seconds? Let me see if I can do 2 seconds. All right, I put him in timeout for 10 seconds. Let me see if it lets him out. It's not about being right. It's about promoting other channels, brother. You know, the reason I set this rule, and again, it was an accident. I really didn't mean to ban him for that long. I was only going to do 30 seconds, but somehow I gave him 30 minutes, which again, my fault. But the problem with other people promoting people is like, this is what happens. And this is honestly, you can ask Pawn, super, super common, right? Person creates a YouTube channel, right? And they're watching me because they want to grow on YouTube, which is fine. Like, I'm not against it. You just can't plug yourself, right? And so said person will create a different account. Either two things will happen. First is the person will be super, super nice. He'll be the friendliest guy ever. He'll be my best freaking friend. You know, John, you're so great. You know, John, I love your content. And then eventually the pitch comes. And then it's like, hey, John, I've got this channel, such and such and such. You know, would you mind giving me a plug? And then as soon as I say no, they turn into the biggest hater in the world, right? Like, honestly, as soon as you say no, they hate you. They hate your life. You know, it genuinely happens. And so it's just easy to just say, hey, no plugging other people. Another thing that'll happen is that they'll create another username, right? And they'll pretend to be somebody else. And they'll be like, hey, guys, my name's Steve, but John has got the best stock market channel in the world. Kindly check him out. Cough, cough, cough. John at Beginner Trading. And so they'll either pretend to be somebody else promoting themselves, right? Like, hey, Bill, if they're Bill, they'll pretend to be Bill. Or they'll pretend not to be Bill and be like, hey, check out Bill's channel here. It just happens a lot. Because of that, I just have to make the rules. No promoting other channels without asking. It makes it simpler. At least it wasn't 30 years. Yeah. Yeah, Ty, see if you can chat now. Now it's 30 minutes and 10 seconds. I know, that's what I thought it would be. I tried to see if it would let me. Yeah. Yeah, I only root for the Dodgers right now because they have Shohei. And I like Shohei. At least it wasn't 30 years. Yeah, they really need to let you take the timing off, right? What if I accidentally ban somebody for a week? I can't unban them? Are they really going to do that? Like, what if I accidentally ban them for a month, right? Are they really banned for a month? I can't do anything. What if I accidentally ban Pawn for a week, right? Like, what am I supposed to do in that scenario? Hey, but I do want to say thank you so much, guys. We broke 150,000 subscribers. I do want to say thank you so much. We broke 150,000. Crazy, honestly. Never thought this channel would get there. So thank you so much, chat. I appreciate the love. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so we got 30 minutes. 30 minutes left. We got GDP data. We got jobless claims, unemployment. I'm gonna speed the top. Let me know if you guys think I should speed. Part of me thinks I should speed this top one up a little bit. Maybe like this is probably good. Jobless claims expected at 215. Core PCE expected at 0.3. I can appreciate your grind. Thank you, DD. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, Ricky. Bro, I'm older than 30. I don't understand this question. If numbers are good for the economy, rates probably won't be cut, and that's bearish for stocks. It's not always bearish. Rates aren't cut because the economy's thriving. When the economy's thriving, people are spending more money, including buying more stocks. And so it's not always that type of correlation, although it can be, right? And we are going to trade a little bit this morning. Again, we have timed ourselves out on Top Step today so that we don't end up giving back everything. The timeout feature on Top Step is really nice too. People just need to watch what they say. John, I agree. We support you. Hey, thanks so much, Melody. Appreciate it. So why is the economy thriving and they are cutting? Well, you got to think about it like this, right? The ideal situation is to keep interest rates low, right? There's a lot of pressure on the Fed, especially during election years, to keep interest rates low. And so what the Fed did, so these are short-term interest rates. During the pandemic, short-term interest rates were cut to almost zero. Say this is zero, right? Short-term interest rates were cut to almost zero. This caused inflation. So if you look at inflation, this caused inflation, CPI, PCE, to spike, right? Rates being low like this caused inflation to spike. Why? Because when rates are low, people have cheaper access to money. They tend to spend more. They tend to buy more. And when people buy more and the economy thrives, prices go up, right? Now, in order to combat this rise in inflation at the top, the Federal Reserve did a bunch of rate hikes. They started raising the federal funds rate. They did quantitative tightening. They did a bunch of stuff to try to bring interest rates up to higher levels, right? And so now, pre-pandemic, rates were at like 3%, right? Now, they're at freaking 7-8% up here, right? And this is not ideal, regardless of what, you know, inflation looks like, the economy looks like, all that stuff. I'm looking at mortgages, right? But we can look at the federal funds rate and see a similar thing. And mortgages are indirectly influenced by rate decisions, but that's a different topic altogether. So the point is, ideally, interest rates, people want interest rates to be low. It's cheaper to buy homes. It'll help the real estate market. It'll help lending. It'll help the economy to a certain extent. And so in general, they want interest rates to be low, but you have to have justification for it. And so essentially what happened is, like, what we did was that we raised rates so aggressively following the pandemic that regardless of what happened, I told people this, regardless of where the economy was, the Fed was going to start cutting rates back down, just because they don't want to keep interest rates too high for too long. The longer you keep them up there, the worse the economy gets. And it's kind of like picking up pennies in front of a train track. Like, the longer you do it, the worse it gets. So you don't want to do it forever, right? The goal is to bring interest rates down before we strike before we cause a recession, not afterwards. And so my guess is they're trying to bring interest rates down to not cause a recession. But GDP data is strong, the labor market's strong, unemployment's under 4.5%, and so everything's pretty decent economics wise. And the real reason people are mostly unhappy is because of inflation. Inflation went up dramatically following 2020, and that's the reason most people are still unhappy to this day. Like, when I say, hey, the economy's strong, people get mad. They're like, oh, how dare you say that, the economy not strong. A lot of it is political bias, because, you know, it's the worst it could ever be, cough cough, elect our guy. But the real reason most people are unhappy is because prices for a lot of stuff have gone up 3 or 4x, and that's not good. That's not good for anybody. So what red folder? The economy isn't thriving. Yeah, I mean, it depends on which lens you look at it under. Again, like, people that don't understand economics are going to get offended by me saying that, right? And it depends on what you consider thriving. Like, I'm not even saying it's thriving, but it's more so the economy, the labor market's strong. You know, unemployment's low. GDP's almost 3%. right? And so when you take the conventional metrics into account, the economy's doing okay. The real reason people are unhappy is inflation, right? And so when I ask people, hey, how is the economy not weak right now? Usually they spit out inflation, but inflation's the opposite of what they should be saying, right? That's kind of like saying, I'll think of an analogy. I'm slow today. Let me sip my coffee. I'll think of a good analogy. First of March 2023. Yeah, most correlate inflation to the economy. And again, it's related, but again, the economy is doing good. GDP's at 3%. Unemployment's under 4.5%, right? But everything's not perfect. I'm not saying things are rosy and perfect, right? Because, you know, there's some inflation problems. And really, once prices go up, they don't really go back down. And so once they go up, we're stuck with them. And that's really why people are unhappy, is because the inflation that we got in the years following the pandemic, because of a lot of things like quantitative easing, money printing, stimulus checks, that caused a lot of inflation in the following years after 2020. And that's the reason most people are still unhappy to this day. It's just prices have gone up so much for them. But again, you got to understand, like, prices going up is a sign of a strong economy, right? Just because I say a strong economy doesn't mean everything's perfect and rosy and good, you know. And that's very often why when I hear this, right, when I say this, I'm like, hey, the economy's doing good, and people are like, nah, how dare you, right? And then I explain it, and then it's just kind of crickets, you know, because they know what I'm saying. It makes sense, and you know, they didn't really understand what I was saying to begin with. Anyways, Bitcoin up on almost 94,000 in Bitcoin futures. There's Nvidia bouncing back too, so Nvidia's popping back up. Let's see if it holds. Kind of choppy, but down slightly on the day. Hey, Ty, you're back. Okay, so it lets you back. Yeah, no, all good, Ty. I'm just glad I let you back in here. So if I ban somebody for too long, I can give them a 10-second ban and it'll let them back in. That's good to know. That's good to know. But if rates are not cut, yields go up. Bad for stocks because investors rather go for yields. Sure, that's true. Le dude, 100%. Yeah, so again, you got to understand this, right? When rates are cut, yields go down and the price of bonds goes up, right? When rates are cut, yields go down, the price of bonds goes up. If you look at what rates are doing now, so say we look at like TNX, here's the yields, right? This is what I like to look at on a daily chart. If we look at the yields, let me see what yields did yesterday from the Fed. I thought the Fed minutes report was hawkish, right? And it looks like it was because we got a little bit of bullish action from it. Yeah, here's the 26th. Let's see, 1 o'clock. Okay. Bro, why does, like, it always corrects. I want... Where's New York time? I just want New York time. All right. So yeah, so there's the 26th. So really we didn't see much happen. I guess that's last night. I'm trying to see what yields did. I thought the report yesterday was hawkish, which would make yields go up because a more hawkish Fed means that bond prices go down and yields go up. A more restrictive Fed means again, a more restrictive Fed means bond prices go down and yields go up. Bro, I always like to listen to your point of view. Keep it up. Top 3 worst, best ever. 100%. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. we only have eyes for John. Yeah, hey. Bitcoin heading up there too. Question, do you guys have any, is there any better symbol to watch yields? Like, I know I look at 10-year yields. SPY's looking weak though this morning here. All right, guys, we got economic data dropping in 20 minutes, guys. A little bit less than 20 minutes, actually. Nvidia's chopping down at the bottom here. Hawk Tua-ish. Yeah, yesterday we were talking about the hawkish stance, and a lot of people gave us the Hawk Tua joke. It's because I showed them pictures of this, right? Like, here's a... There's some good jokes that I got somewhere in there. I'll have to find them. Look at some of these old pictures. I was looking at some of these old video. Look at me. Look at young John. My hair was blonde when I was born. Young John. There he is. Look at that. That's the most 90s shirt I've ever seen in my life. Dude, that is I look like Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life with that shirt. It's the most 90s shirt I've ever seen. Look like I could be on an episode of Friends right now in that shirt. Here's another one too. Look at this. Focused, preparing myself to be the top 3 greatest investor trader of all time ever in the world. Hey, what's up, Taker? Hey, thanks so much. Well, what other funny videos do I have? Let's see what else I got. Oh, we got young 20-year-old sideways cap John with curly hair. Look at me. Beardless John. Yeah. I go through my stages, man. I go through my stages. What else we got? I got some more pictures too. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, we got AI John. Look at AI John though, bro. This is AI. Something's just not quite right about it. I had AI do these headshots. Something's just not quite right about this. Right? It doesn't really look like me. The eyebrows are weird. The nose is off for sure. Something's just not quite right about AI John. I just don't like it. We got young Brucey. There's young Bruce. All right, guys. Hey, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Where's the one I was trying to find here? Bruce was a freaking specimen of a dog, though. Look at Bruce, man. This is 7-month-old Bruce. This is a beautiful dog. Beautiful dog. All right, guys. You guys ready? I was looking for... I had one of me. There it is. Yeah. Hawkish. Hawkish John. Yeah. Rebel John. Here. And then this is a Hawkish John. You know? Alright. I didn't know Limp Bizkit made another album. Hey, looks like you had a nice head of hair. Honestly, it was funny. Somebody the other day accused me of trying to hide my balding hair, right? And I had to like take off the hat. Honestly, it was one of the best proving wrong situations I've ever had in my life because I got too much freaking hair. Honestly, I wake up in the morning and my hair is literally like this, right? Like, there's nothing I can do to it. I have to kind of, like, put it down. It's so fluffy and frizzy when I wake up in the morning. That's why I wear a freaking hat every day. It's too hard to deal with. We like Bruce. What's your dad holding? He's holding a Harris hawk. My dad's a falconer, so my dad hunts with hawks, with actual hawks. And so that's like hunting I did as a kid. He trains them and hunts with them. Yeah, 100% taker. That's me. All right, guys. Anyways, and I'm not judging you if you're bald. Like, it's all good. You know, it's all love here. Another good question is, will crypto rise on Thanksgiving? I think that's a good question. Will crypto rise on Thanksgiving, chat? I do appreciate it though, chat. We did break 100,000 subscribers, which is crazy, or 150,000 subscribers. Fed minutes report got us there. SPY just broke over these $600 levels, so SPY is now technically green, I believe, in pre-market now. Let me see. Yeah, so the SPY is now technically green in pre-market. It broke the pre-market high. Extended hours is still a little low because it hit highs of 601.40, 601.50s in after hours yesterday. But it's at the highs of pre-market. SPY's up to almost $601. Let's put the NASDAQ back up here. NASDAQ still sitting under 21K. Getting close though. It's moving back up. So 21K is up here, this light blue, or this blue line. Does crypto react to this data? Yes. People say I look like Canelo Alvarez. Do I really? I must look like everybody, because I've heard a mix of almost freaking everything. Like, do I really look like Canelo here? I don't know. I don't see it. I do have a little bit of reddish in my beard, but yeah, I do look like my dad, 100%. Super Micro. Where's Super Micro? I haven't even looked at Super Micro in a couple of days. I know it's bouncing back up a big amount. I'm trying to not to get FOMO in it, though, because I think it's just too risky for me. Everybody's different. Some people are going to prefer taking stuff like this. For me, it's just too risky. It's too much of a gamble. Like, I like more sure things than this, and it's definitely not a sure thing. All right, so Nvidia, very flat, very choppy. I think we got a lot of economic reports coming out today, and so I think the whole market's kind of waiting for this stuff to drop. Right, we got GDP data, we got PCE data, we got jobless claims data, we got a lot of stuff coming out, and I think the whole market is essentially just kind of waiting for all this stuff to drop at once. Now, we still got 10 minutes left. Yeah, it's weird how much you change growing up, because like my son looks just like this, right? So if you look at my son, this looks like my son, you know. There we go. Yeah, I know the stream just died and now we're back. It's all right. Yeah, we're back. I don't know what happened. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, we're back now, but it's still kind of glitching out a little bit, unfortunately. Yeah, it seems like it was just OBS almost. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me now? You should be good. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We should be good. We should be back up. Let me make sure. Yep, all good. Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. OBS is just off. Weird. But this was my whole internet that cut out. Honestly, my internet could do better. They could do better. I'm disappointed in my internet connection. Gucci, all good. Gravy. The game is cold, but it's gravy. Pimp C. Are we back? I think we are. All right, cool. Disappointing here, though, chat. We still got almost 1,000 people here, so it didn't really... The music's still off. I know. I mean... Yeah, so I'm gonna disconnect. I'm gonna disconnect my Wi-Fi. It might cut out for a second, just so I can use the wired connection. There we go. All right, yeah. So it refreshed and we're back. All right, cool. Yeah, we got 7 minutes, guys. 7 minutes. It's super strange it cut out like that. All right, so still got 6 minutes left. Again, so we got PCE data. Thanks for the stream, bro. So I think PCE data today at 10 a.m. is the biggest report for sure, right? So PCE data at 10, 100% the largest report here. Definitely the largest. Inflation data is the more important. So what the Fed looks like in terms of data is personal consumption expenditure. It's PCE data. So the Fed likes to look at PCE over everything else for inflation reading, right? And so today, that's what we got. We got PCE data coming out, but it's at 10 a.m. Since it's a holiday week. It drops at 10 a.m. And so that's what's going on today is PCE data, 10 a.m. Jobless claims, GDP data at 9 a.m. I'm going to exit out of some stuff too, just so I can make sure we're running smooth here. We'll keep that one up. There we go. Exit out of this too. Exit out of that as well. Exit out of this. Yeah, we should be good. All right, but yeah, so today we got jobless claims, durable goods. I'm curious if PCE is going to release at the same time. I don't think it is. But, you know, some are saying PCE drops in 5 minutes too, but the Bureau of Labor Statistics says it's going to be at 10. So, but the PCE data is the big one. Bearish. I think they want to pump it up either way today. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, my mom's basement, man. I gotta get all this stuff fixed. All right, chat. We got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. We got about 1,000 people here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Thanks so much for the support. Again, we're looking at PCE data. I'm ready for it. PCE is the big one, but it's at 10. Rest in peace, Pimp C. Yeah, so trading economics, I do see 8:30 here. TV says 7:30 Central. We'll see, man. It's hard to tell. So the actual website here, right? If I look at the actual Bureau of Labor Statistics, it shows personal consumption indicator, personal income for October. 10 a.m. is what it's showing here. So everybody has a different, typically PCE data releases at 8:30, but I think today, since we got GDP, jobless claims, unemployment, and a bunch of other stuff releasing, I think that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm back. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. Yeah, so if you hit the live button next to the play button, it'll make sure you're caught up. All right, chat. Be ready. All right, chat. We got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Hit the live button next to the play button, chat. Hit the notification bell. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Let's keep the grind up. Again, a lot of apps are saying different stuff, but we have it today specifically at 10 a.m. for PCE data, GDP data expected at 2.8%, jobless claims expected at 2.15, and we're gonna cover it all live as soon as it happens right here on YouTube. So subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. Thanks so much. Yeah, tons of stuff today though. Let's get ready. Again, hit the live button next to the play button. We got a minute left. Chat, a minute left. I'm kind of looking at a couple different reports, but we'll see which one's right. Trading Economics has it at 8:30. Actually, they updated it. So they updated it. So yeah, it's at 10. So it's at 10. 1 minute left, chat. 1 minute left for GDP data. So jobs data, GDP data both drop in 40 seconds. So jobs data in terms of jobless claims unemployment, as well as GDP data expected at 2.8%, jobless claims expected at 2.15. Those both drop in about 35 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up. PCE inflation data is released at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. So PCE data releases at 10. This timer is a little bit early, so we still got about 20 seconds left. Just make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're caught up. Yeah, we got a poll already, brother. We got a poll. All right, here we go. 10 seconds, guys. 5 seconds, really. And here's the report right here. All right, guys. So GDP data, jobless claims showed up at durable goods showed up at 0.2%. Jobless claims showed up at 213, lower than expected. GDP data showed up as expected at 2.8%. Chat, 2.8% for GDP as expected. Jobless claims lower than expected, showing more economic strength than expected, showed up at 213. 213. Here's the SPY. Here's the NASDAQ. Mostly positive reactions here. Here's the NASDAQ on the right. Yeah. So again, PCE data is not out yet. Durable goods came in at 0.1%. Continuing claims came in lower than expected. Initial jobless claims lower than expected, showed less unemployment filings than expected, better unemployment data for the economy than expected. GDP showed up flat, 2.8% quarter over quarter. So we'll put this up scrolling at the top of the screen here. Guys, we'll put this up scrolling at the top. But again, GDP data flat. Jobless claims showed a slightly stronger economy than expected at 213 claims versus 215 expected. Durable goods showed up 0.2% positive, so stronger for the economy. So stronger economic data mostly here this morning is what this showed today. All right, so we got the GDP report again. GDP showed up flat as expected, 2.8% quarter over quarter. .8%. There's 2.8% expected. And so we got that up on screen at the top now. Nice. So we got it scrolling at the top of the screen now. There we go. Yeah, I'll put the text a little bit faster now since we need to be. Yeah, there we go. 213 versus 216. GDP showed 2.8%. Honestly, the market, a little underwhelming reaction. We still have PCE data coming out today. So we do have PCE data dropping live today. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. I have locked myself out of Top Step X this morning. You can see my account is unlocked in about an hour, right? And this is powerful because I was losing in pre-market. And so Top Step added this new custom lockout feature where you can lock yourself out. If you want to day trade, do not risk your own money, thousands of dollars of your own money at least. Instead, try a funded account program. It makes perfect sense. Just stop and listen to me for a second. Most day traders lose. If you fund your own account, you're probably going to lose. Every trader thinks they're going to be some outlier, prodigy, savant. I'm here to tell you that's probably not going to happen. Instead, you're going to lose your first account if you risk it, most likely. Instead, try a funded account program. It's a perfect middle ground of pressure. They give you a demo. They test your skill with the demo. If you can pass their test, it's only a 2-to-3 ratio. You got to make 3K in profit without losing 2K first, following their rules, day trading futures. If you pass that test, they fund you between 50K to 150K with a 90% split, which is similar to funding your own account. And if you're good enough, you can then withdraw and fund your own account. But if you fail, you only lose the monthly subscription. The base one, the 50K one, is only $49 a month. It's less than 50 bucks. Very limited risk, but you're still risking something. And so it teaches you how to trade under pressure. It's a great way to learn how to day trade. And if you're good enough, you can get funded, pass it, withdraw, do all that good stuff. And they've paid out over $125 million to their traders since 2020. They fund thousands of traders. It's a great way to learn how to day trade. But they are an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased in their favor. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. I do trade off stream. I don't even claim to be a good trader, guys. But in the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. In the futures market, crypto, micro, Bitcoin, crypto, patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns if you trade indices. It just makes sense, guys. It just makes sense. Limited risk, similar reward to funding your own account. It just makes sense, right? If you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. You can check it out right there. All right. Mostly markets reacted negatively to this report here. Look at this drop coming through right now. Drop's coming through here. Look at this. So PCE data, did it drop? Or was this the prelim data for the Q3? I saw 2.1% core PCE prelim data show up a little bit late, but I don't think this is the right PCE prices. Did they release PCE? No. Wait. Now I'm confused. GDP data came out. Jobless claims data came out. Yeah, so we still got PCE data at 10 a.m. They updated it. Let me refresh one more time to make sure. Yeah, so core PCE still releases at 10 a.m. Chat, so we still got some time. But the market is falling some here. Why is the Dixie falling? Probably less jobless claims. No, that means stronger economy. I'm not sure why the Dixie's falling. Durable good orders. I don't know. Durable goods were better than expected, right? So durable goods showed up at 0.2% positive versus minus 0.8%. So durable good orders were expected month to month at almost at minus 1%. They ended up showing a positive number at 0.2%. GDP showed up at 2.8%. Jobless claims lower than expected at 213. Again, stick around, guys. We cover all this stuff as soon as it happens, and we will be covering PCE as soon as it's released at 10 a.m. Literally, as soon as it drops at 10 a.m., we're covering PCE data, so stick around, chat. All right, so GDP and jobs. All right, guys, so now we have PCE data coming out next, right? So PCE data Drops at 10 a.m. Again, this data is expected at, yeah, so we got PCE data at 10, which is weird. It's different than normal. Yeah, so we had GDP data out. We got all that stuff out. Now we got PCE data on. Again, market's kind of flat. Hasn't really done too much here. So the market's not really moving like you want it to. So we had jobless claims come out. Yeah, so we got PCE inflation. Yeah, so market's still pretty choppy. Hasn't really done too much on this report. Bitcoin did shoot up though. It's at almost 94,000. And so my BITO purchase yesterday's doing really well here. All right, so we're gonna end this poll. We got over 1,000. Actually, we'll keep the poll. PCE data lowers expected, right? So lowers expected. So which thumbnail do you guys like more? Here, chat. So here's option 1. I personally like the bobblehead thumbnail, personally. Which thumbnail do you like more? Here's PCE data 1. This is option number 1. All right, so that's option number 1. Just kind of conventional, big, bold, yellow text. And then for number 2, we got bobblehead, big head inflation data live, John. I personally like this one because I think it's funnier. This is number 2. Please don't vote twice. If you vote twice, I might ban you. So only vote once in chat. Well, 1 or 2, guys. 1 or 2. Let me know right now. What do you guys think? It's not a good sign that they delayed PCE. The only reason they delayed PCE is because at 8:30 we had GDP data. We had GDP data. We had jobless claims, unemployment data. We had durable goods data. It's too much data to release at once. And so because the markets are closed yesterday or tomorrow, because markets are closed tomorrow, because markets are closed tomorrow, they pushed it back, you know. All right, Britt, I told you if you voted twice, you're going to potentially get banned. You're in timeout now. Sit in the corner and think about what you've done. I don't like change. Most people like 2. So I guess we'll go with 2, but I don't think it matters too much here, but we'll have some fun with it and we'll go with 2. If we got one option that's serious, the other option is comedic. I'm going to go with comedic here. There we go. So we'll go with comedic. All right. I've never seen this delay. Well, it's because Thanksgiving the market's closed, right? Tomorrow the markets are closed. They don't want to drop it tomorrow because nobody's going to be looking at it tomorrow. And so they're releasing it a day early. Typically the schedule for economic reports like today goes like this, right? Typically the schedule goes GDP data, usually on a Wednesday, PCE data on a Thursday, right? That's typically the schedule. Since the market's mostly going to be closed tomorrow, including the stock market, they have changed it to where today we have both reports. We've got PCE data at 10 a.m. and we had GDP data at 8:30, right? But now they can drop both reports, but they're not going to drop them simultaneously because that's too much at once, right? So they're going to separate them, and so that's why they're doing PCE at 10, which I'm okay with. You could trade futures tomorrow, but indices are closed. I think you could probably still trade future indices, but I'm not 100%. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. The market's closed. It's boring, and it's Thanksgiving. You guys red or green today? Chat, red or green? What do you guys think? Yeah, join our Discord. Completely free. Doesn't cost a penny. Join our Discord. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Honestly, I'm kind of weirded out, though, guys, about, like, internet crapping out right before the 8:30 release is strange. It's almost like somebody's targeting me. It didn't work. I mean, we ended up having almost 2,000 people. Honestly, we might have had more people now since they did that. But still. All right, SPY moving up. Almost the 601s here, chat. Almost 601s. Nvidia at 135s. Yeah, completely free Discord. Doesn't cost a penny. Join it. Bitcoin still runs. Yeah, I think Bitcoin, I think there's a theory. My theory on Bitcoin was this. A lot of the time, Bitcoin runs on weekends, middle of the night, and slow periods because of overseas buys and sells. And so sometimes Bitcoin can run during quiet moments for everybody else. When the rest of the markets are quiet, when the stock market's closed, when the bond markets are closed, when the futures markets are closed, or at least lower liquidity, people end up trading crypto and buying Bitcoin more, right? And so what we see sometimes during those moments is Bitcoin running up during those quiet markets. And so my theory, I bought Bitcoin when it was, I bought a Bitcoin ETF when it was at about 92K. And the theory of it was that I thought Bitcoin might make a little run during Thanksgiving and the days preceding Thanksgiving. And so far we're up $2,000 a coin in Bitcoin. Now, again, we bought Bitcoin ETF, so we're not up $2,000 each. You know, I wish I was, but we're not. But we're still very green on that position here. And so we'll see if that continues. We bought up 6 positions in the last week in stocks. We bought up AMD, average price of 137s. We're still green on that one. Amazon, we bought it at 190s. It's at almost 210. We bought the Bitcoin ETF. Again, Bitcoin was at about 92. It's at about 94 now. We bought Coca-Cola at 63s. It's at almost 65s. We bought Nike at 75s. It's at almost 78s. We bought Pepsi at 160. It's at almost 163s. We bought Target at 120s. Low 120s. It's at almost 130. So, doing good on those positions so far. We'll see if they hold. Just giving you guys an update. Yeah, I think we're going to make a push for 100K is my theory. But I might be wrong, and it's certainly not guaranteed or anything like that. All right, guys. Yeah, well, futures touched 100K, but the actual Bitcoin price didn't. What were the numbers? They're scrolling at the top of the screen. Here, I'll put them up on screen as well here. We'll put specifically GDP data. Wait, US PCE 2.6. I don't know what kind of PCE data that is. But yeah, so here is GDP data. Again, 2.8% is what it showed up as. Jobless claims 213. So we'll put this up on screen too. And then we got GDP data, 2.8 versus 2.8. Last time was 2.8. All right, so there's the data release right here. I'll put it a little bit smaller, but we'll put it up so you can see it next to me there. All right, guys, market's coming down though. Still waiting for PCE data. PCE's not out yet. PCE comes out at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, guys. So market's very choppy, very flat. I'm wondering if there's some edge trading this now, though. All right, so we're rejecting at the 200 exponential on Nvidia. We're looking at the SPY slightly over. We're looking at the NASDAQ slightly over it as well. So slightly green on these. Super micro semiconductors all the way down to $35 again. NASDAQ's still technically red on the day, though. The S&P technically red on the day as well. So both of these are slightly red on the day, not super green or anything. Make sure we don't sound like a rocket ship anymore. Where's the VIX at right now? Is the VIX up or down today? Down. Wow, VIX is almost down to 14, so VIX is very low. Volatility very low. Exit out of this too, so we're not locked out. I got a lot of windows up right now. I'm gonna have to start exiting out of some of them. I'm trying to make sure this isn't the same PCE data that I'm looking at. Yeah, so gross domestic product, like when I look at the detail here, 2.8%. So you kind of see the graph on real GDP percent change from the preceding quarter. 2023, 2024, pretty flat in 2024. It hasn't done any like crazy movements here. I see core PCE prices come out at 2.1% versus 2.2% expected, prior of 2.8%. But I don't think these are the actual core PCE index. These are just PCE prices, which drops at 830. The core PCE index drops at 10. So it's a different thing. I think the blow off hasn't quite come. S&P still in the channel. Consumer is strong. Well, in high inflation, again, I think people get so biased politically with stuff. They end up like if if they dislike or like the current administration, right, they end up just saying everything's super weak when it's not, to justify it. And again, like, you got to understand, politics blinds people on both sides, right? It really does, man. Like, everybody wants to act like it's the weakest we've ever been in the economy, and the economy's not weak at all. Unemployment's still pretty low. Payroll numbers have been decent for the last few years. GDP's still almost 3%, right? But it doesn't mean things are good either, right? So the other side's going to tell you everything's perfect. That's not true either, right? We still got problems. Inflation's an issue, right? The truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think people have to understand that. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think people are blinded on both sides, and they just kind of regurgitate things they hear from each side. But you got to understand, like, there's a lot of... Neither side wants you to know the truth. They both embellish things, I guess is the point. All right, guys, NASDAQ at 21K. No, I'm not talking about you, Pew. You can disagree. It's all good. It doesn't mean you're politically biased. I just think there's so much. That's the bias I see happen so much on my stream. Right? It's just too much. Like, everybody thinks, they just get super biased politically, and it's fine. I just don't base who I am around my political affiliation, and I don't really have one anyway. And again, like, we get stronger economy right now because we're rebounding from the last few years. The big thing is rates, right? Like, do you want low rates? Most people want low rates. It's better for people in general to have low rates, but it's not always the ideal situation. The ideal situation to have low rates and low inflation, but that's not reasonable to expect sometimes, I think. All right, guys, stick around. Again, we do have PCE inflation data coming out at 10 a.m. Now we got this coming out at 10 a.m. So this is an hour and about 4 minutes. Yeah. So we got about an hour and 5 minutes left. I'll put the timer up here next to me so you guys can see it. People want to be able to afford food. Sure, right? I get it. Prices are up 2, 3, 4x in some places. But prices going up is a sign of a strong economy, not a weak one. You know what I mean? And that's the big misunderstanding. You hear people, if I'm like, hey, the economy's strong, that bugs people when they start arguing with me. They're like, nah, bro, have you seen prices? And it's like, yeah, I have seen prices. They're up a lot. That's because the economy's strong. That's precisely what I'm talking about. But it's all good. And again, prices, the issue with prices is that they don't really go back down. They don't go down. Right? Once they're up, we're stuck with them. Like, only in really bad recessions, depressions, do prices literally go down. Outside of that, the best we can do is slow them down. Like, if we can have slow price increases, that's the best we can do. And if we can stall at slow price increases or neutral price increases or neutral prices, that's ideal afterwards. So Lenny says, how are prices rising? A sign of a strong economy. Well, this is economics 101, brother. So when people spend more, businesses raise prices, and the economy is judged by spending, GDP, 2.8%, almost 3%. When people spend more, businesses raise prices. And high spending is a sign of a strong economy. Consumers that are willing to go out and spend signals literally strong economy, right? More people working, i.e. more people spending, strong economy. This is economics 101, dude. You should, I don't even know how anybody can ask me that question. No offense to you, Lenny. It's all love here, brother. But obviously, more spending equals a stronger economy, at least to a certain extent, right? If you want an analogy for it, if I sell bubble gum, let me think of something else. If I sell chairs out on the streets, and I'm out here slanging chairs, all right, and say I got 50 chairs to start the day, and I'm selling them for $100 a piece, and at the end of the day, all 50 chairs are sold, right, signaling a strong economy. what am I going to do? You better believe I'm going to bump prices up to 150 a chair, I should say. 150 bucks a chair now. If by the end of the day my chairs are sold again, all of them are gone, I might bump prices up to $200 a chair, and so forth and so on and so forth and so on. And thus is the nature of more spending equals inflation. You know. Yeah, so Lenny, apparently he doesn't have any response, right? So he's just out here yelling names now. My guy's just out here insulting me. No argument back, right? No argument back. Good day to you, sir. You're lucky I don't get big head John out here and make myself really big. Actually, I will do that. You are now banned for life, sir. Never show yourself here again. You are now banned forever on my channel. I should get the wizarding music on. Where's it at? How dare you insult me in that way? You are now banned for life from my YouTube channel. Cheers to Lenny, because he will never be seen here again. Alright. Give me a rating out of that, guys. Was that a 5 out of 10? A 10 out of 10? You know, a 60 out of 10? Let me know. Was that good? I think it was pretty good. But no, on a serious note here, guys, if I'm starting to talk to people and I give an example and somebody starts yelling names, insulting me, talking smack with no argument, usually it means they don't have a freaking argument, because in the end, like Lenny over here arguing, wondering why more spending equals inflation. You know, bless his heart. Cheers to Lenny. Bless his heart, though, you know. Yeah, data that came out today was kind of flat. It was kind of neutral. $11 out of 10. Bro is the main character. Dude, of course I am, dude. I'm the only one here. Where are the other characters, bro? You know? Look, if I can't troll people on YouTube, what am I doing in life? You know? What am I doing in life? Can I start trading crypto with $200 as a starting budget, please? I have no freaking idea. I mean, you could. Should you is a different story. I don't know. That's subjective. Prices going up or do the safety net. Yeah, but money's being printed, and what does that money go? Money goes to consumers. What do the consumers do with it? They spend it. How is this guy saying price increases are from a strong economy? Because prices are going up because people are spending more. People are spending more because the government's printing more money and injecting it, and they're using that money to buy up all kind of stuff. But more spending obviously equals higher prices. That's the business 101 too. It's super nuanced, but in general, yes. Top 3 traders in the world with a beard on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday. All right. It's Christmas. Yeah, but we're not looking at Christmas numbers. It's not even December yet, so we don't have that data. OBS instead of StreamYard. Yeah, we're on OBS now. OBS is just better in general. There's more stuff you can do with it. StreamYard causes problems. Honestly, I don't even think it's StreamYard. StreamYard caused problems for me one day and made me switch. Yeah, and again, guys, like, there's a lot of nuance behind everything I'm saying. I'm just kind of trolling people because it's fun. But, like, the issue here is that, like, people are really afraid to admit the economy is not weak, right? Political bias mostly, issues there. Like, a lot of people are really politically biased, and they're really critical of whomever's in power or whatever it is, right? So they end up, and again, I'm neutral. I'm not against you. Like, don't think I'm against you, because I'm not. I'm very neutral there. But that bias finds its way in all this stuff. And so me saying, hey, like, the current metrics of the economy are decent, right? Unemployment under 4.5%. GDP data almost 3%. Today, jobless claims came in lower than expected, right? Payroll numbers have been decent for the last year for the most part, except for one report. And so most of the conventional economic metrics that we look at show a decent economy, right? But just me saying that buzzword is going to cause people that are biased to kind of argue with me and get upset and get dramatic and get weird. But the truth is, judging by the conventional economic metrics, the economy is not weak, right? The problem with a strong economy is inflation. The consequence of a dovish Fed is inflation, right? Which has to do with quantitative easing, which is a form of money printing where banks create online bank reserves and then they use it to buy bonds. And in the end, it ultimately causes inflation over time. And so you can't stimulate the economy, print money, send out stimulus checks without inflation being a consequence to it. And that's what we saw after 2021, really, was that inflation spiked to 10%. And then the Fed has to play catch up, and they have to go hawkish, and they have to raise interest rates and do quantitative tightening, which is reducing their balance sheet, taking liquidity away from things, away from those markets. But when I'm trying to explain it to the chat here, the easiest way to put it is more spending equals prices increases, because that's supply and demand, right? The more people that buy, the more businesses might raise. But it's a lot more nuanced than that. But regardless of that aspect of it, right? Like, the economy, at least the conventional economic metrics, are decent, right? And regardless of whether you agree or disagree with that, hopefully you guys can be respectful about it. Bitcoin's spiking up, and so if you guys remember me buying Bitcoin yesterday at about 92K, you love to see it. You love to see it. I'll probably take some of this off. I'm not all of it. I'm going to hold most of my position still, I think. But I should probably cover at least a piece of this since we're up so much in it. All right, so we just covered like 30% of the position. We'll hold the rest. So far, so good, though. We're correct about that. Can you please buy something? I'll try to, brother. I'll try to. All right, guys. Hey, we got 25 minutes. We got the opening bell. Honestly, Nvidia bounced right at the lows. Yeah, I mean, listen. Josh, it's all good, bro. We can agree to disagree. I think, of course, more spending causes inflation. And this is very clear throughout history and economics and everything like that, man. Are you really trying to argue that spending does not equal inflation? I mean, it's all love here, bro. But of course, spending equals inflation, man. Supply and demand, you know. When consumers or businesses spend more, the demand for goods and services increase. If it outpaces supply, businesses raise prices to balance the higher demand. This is specifically during periods of economic growth. If there's supply constraints because higher spending, prices can go up even more. If people have higher wages, like, again, $100,000 used to mean something. $100,000 today is not this, you know, not as cool as it was. you know, increased spending. Like the real reason we have the massive inflation of 2022 is because of low interest rates, right? So 2020 happened, the Fed lowered interest rates to almost zero, sent out stimulus checks. The easiest way to put it is like this, right? Here, you want me to, so here's the easiest way to put it. Following 2020, Rolex prices doubled, right? Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think Rolex prices doubled following 2020? Genuine question. Why do you think that is? If we look at Rolex prices here. All right, let's take a look. I mean, you could argue against spending equaling inflation, but I think it's a silly argument. But why do you think following 2020, Rolex prices doubled? Why do you think that is? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess why Rolex prices doubled following 2020? Yeah, it really has to do with, hey, later Tiny, have a good day. Thanks so much. Have a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, I mean, you can isolate a super specific thing, Josh, and try to use that as an argument. But again, in the end, more spending equals inflation. 100%. Do y'all know why this happened? Like, why do you think Rolex prices doubled? I'll tell you why they did. They doubled because people got sent stimulus checks. After 2020, Rolex prices doubled because more spending happened. People had more money to spend, and so the prices doubled. You know, the Fed lowered interest rates, so people had a lot cheaper access to leverage as well. And so Rolex prices doubled. And we've seen a correction since 2020. But basically, this happened because people were able to spend more. And that caused prices to go into a bubble territory, which is a normal economic thing. But here, it's all good. We could agree to disagree. I mean, you're wrong, Josh, but we could agree to disagree. What it seems like to me is that people are desperately trying to reason why the economy's not strong because they don't like the tone of the economy strong. Really, people are unhappy because of the said inflation that we just talked about, right? People are really unhappy because prices have gone up too much. They've gone up 3, 4, 5x in some places, especially in like food. And so that's the real reason people are unhappy. That's the real reason people think the economy's weak when it's really the opposite. It's just because prices have gone up too much to where now people are unhappy about it. And now it's getting to a point where it's not as affordable. So time to buy more Rolexes? I mean, I bought the dip in Rolexes, you know, but I like watches. Honestly, people make fun of people that buy Rolexes, right? But Rolexes keep up with the S&P 500 to a certain extent, right? Most people can buy a Rolex, wear it for 5 years, sell it for more than they paid for it. So you basically got paid to wear a Rolex for 5 years. You know, as long as you take care of it and it doesn't get got by somebody. It's not a bad investment most of the time. I'm not telling you to buy anything. But again, here's Rolex prices over like a long period of time. Look at this. And look at 2020, right? Like, look, here's 2020 here. Look at that. Boom. Massive increase. Right? Now we're in dip territory here. If you're going to buy a Rolex, though, ones with nicknames are usually going to outperform ones without nicknames. And so there's a lot of nicknames in Rolexes. There's Sprite, there's Coke, there is Batman, Batgirl, there is Bluesy, Root Beer, you know, Dark Knight. There's all kind of nicknames for Rolexes. The ones with nicknames are typically the more sought after collectible ones that are going to go up more over time versus no nickname ones. I'd rather collect a dividend. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna probably. I mean, it's up to you guys. It's whatever you guys like. It depends on what you like. I'm not telling you to buy anything because who knows, man. The biggest risk for Rolexes, if we're looking at it objectively, is counterfeits. Counterfeits are getting freaking good, you know. Like I bought one not that long ago. I had to open the back of it to make sure it was real. And that used to be something that you didn't have to do. You could see the signs of a fake just by looking at it. At this point, the counterfeits, they're called super clones, have gotten so good at faking them that you have to crack open the back and look at it just to make sure it's legit. So that's the biggest risk long term to Rolexes, is the counterfeits catching up and making them virtually indistinguishable, and that overall drop in the price of everything. Adding aftermarket diamonds to a Rolex, that's not really what you want to do. It devalues the watch. It doesn't make it better. If you're gonna do that, just buy one that already had that done. But don't buy a good Rolex and then ruin it. You know. What if buy from a reliable original shops? Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get, the reason there's a premium, a lot of people, what happens with Rolexes, and people earn a living off of doing this, right? They flip watches for a living, right? So like they buy a watch, there's a variance in prices. And so they buy a watch so the average price of let's say like a Batgirl Rolex, right? Or a Batman Rolex is like 13 to 15K for a Batman Rolex, right? That's a big variance. And so if you could buy one for 14 and then sell it for 16 or 15, you can earn $1,000 just from the Rolex sale, right? And if you do that 10 times a month, that's 10K a month. And a lot of wholesalers do that exact like specific thing. They buy it at the low end, sell it at the high end, and they can at least earn thousands of dollars a month. Some of them earn millions a year from doing this. You know, there's also like a specific nuance with like what's called an AD, an authorized dealer, with Rolexes. And so the reason there's a premium, so if you get a Rolex brand new from a Rolex dealer, you can resell it immediately. Usually, if it's the right Rolex, you might be able to resell it for $10,000 more than you got it from Rolex on the what's called the gray market. And the reason you can do that is because it's incredibly difficult to get a lot of these Rolexes from actual Rolex dealers. You know, so like if you go say, hey, Rolex, I want to buy this watch today, you'll never get it. You're never going to get a watch from Rolex same day. You can't walk into a Rolex store and buy it. They'll put you on a list. Maybe they call you back in a year or two. Maybe they don't, right? And that's the reason you can sell them for a premium. If you form a lot of different relationships with like Rolex dealers. Supply and demand, they're just controlling the supply. But yeah. Oh, it's super speculative. Oh, 100% particle. Yeah, the counterfeits are getting really good. And that's the biggest risk to Rolexes over time is just, you know, frankly them controlling, or the counterfeits like diluting the marketplace in that way. That's the biggest risk. Like dilution from counterfeits, 100%. Like that's the biggest problem. But yeah, guys, again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. We're going to be day trading on Top Step today. Our account should be unlocked pretty soon here, chat. Pretty soon. So again, watch this day trade on Top Step today. We're going to be day trading futures today, chat. Cut this. All right, so yeah, we got PCE data. We're gonna be day trading live now. We just gotta wait to get unlocked. We're unlocked in 6 minutes on our account here in futures. And again, we've been doing much better since we did this. We've been restricting our trading in pre-market. We've done much better since then. All right. So far, so good though. Nasdaq slightly above the 200 EMA. What do you think about lab-grown diamonds? I think diamonds are not a good investment long-term, in my opinion, right? Because they're too controlled. What I mean by that is, like, diamonds are typically not investment assets. And the lab-grown market is making a lot of headway in the diamond industry as well. So, you know, what's interesting though, I was looking up this stuff. Like, you can buy a diamond growing machine for lab-grown diamonds for like $10,000. So, like, what's stopping people from buying that machine and then producing their own diamonds? You know, like, I wonder what that will look like, or how much that will cost, and what that means. Because if it's that cheap of entry, why not just, you know, buy the machine, grow your own diamonds, and then just sell them? Seems like a good business model. But there's got to be some nuance to that I'm missing here, because I looked it up and most people are like, yeah, you can buy the machines, it's 10K per machine. It's like, all right, $10,000 to grow diamonds, freaking sign me up, bro. But there's got to be something I'm missing, and maybe you guys know. Let me know what I'm missing there. Here, let me ask AI. Machines to grow lab-grown diamonds. They start at 200K. Okay, gotcha. So the high pressure. $200K. 450. 200 to 450,000. Okay, maybe they're a little bit more than I thought. Yeah, I don't like investing in diamonds. But diamonds are forever. Yeah, I get it. All right, remember we got PCE inflation data in 40 minutes. Again, guys, check out Top Step, funded account program in futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, $50 is the base when you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. If you day trade indices, patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns, but there's no PDT restrictions. And again, it's the best way to test your scalp. Most day traders lose, right? And so you can get the base one for $49. If you want more leverage, you can get $150 for the base one. If you pass the test, you get a $50K, $100K, $150K funded account with a 90% split, and they pay out millions. They paid out over $125 million. And again, most day traders should be trading futures. Get your feet wet in it, try it out. It gives you some pressure, not the full extent of like a funding your own account. Most day traders lose. You put up 5K, you're probably losing 5K. Limit your risk. Try this out first. If you fail, you still have some pressure. It teaches you risk management, but it's not the end of the world scenario like putting in all your 10K net worth and losing that trying to day trade, which happens to a lot of people. A lot of people, guys. And again, you can check out the link right there. They're an affiliate of mine, and so I'm definitely biased in their favor. But understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. If you do use one, use Top Step X, because there's 0 commission and only 74 cents in fees per trade. So again, 0 commission, 74 cents in fees per trade on Top Step X. That's what you see us trading on today, and we get unlocked in 2 minutes. So if you sign up, I would use Top Step X. John's depth of knowledge on so many topics never ceases to amaze me. It's that ADHD brain, bro. It really is ADHD, right? Like, I get hyper focused on so many different things and interests over time. Honestly, this is usually a very small piece of it, because I only really like maintain interest on a couple things over time. Right now, for me, it's stock market investing in business is obviously one of them. Jiu-jitsu, been an obsession for a year plus now. Watches, you know, jewelry, business. Watch and jewelry business specifically is the third one. But we'll see if I hold those interests over time. All right, chat. We're almost unlocked. We got 1 minute left. Yeah, I was on Top Step TV a few days ago. Yeah, like last Thursday, I think it was. Keeping the wife happy? I've been with Carol for 14 years. You know, we got a good marriage, good life. You know, got a beautiful family. I can't really complain, man. My life's good. Yeah, y'all hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you catch up with the stream. Yeah, jiu-jitsu's so much fun, man. I've gotten a lot better too, and it's really fun. Like when you first get started, you just get beat up, right? And then if you keep training regularly, you start to get good. It's so much fun to tap people out and just, you know, it's like chess. It really is. Like I think smart people gravitate towards BJJ as well because it really is like chess. It's the people who do well are usually smarter people that think quickly. You know, you got to think quickly, and so it's fun. Yeah, so I'm showing 200 to 450K for diamond machines. Yeah, I'm not sure. No idea, brother. Yeah, market's very flat today. It's probably because of the whole gang of economic data. We got like an array of economic data coming out today. So that's typically what's going on here. It's just a lot of stuff dropping this morning. So the market's a little slower because of it. All right, guys, we got 2.5 minutes left, chat. Let's see what we get. Remember, PCE inflation data drops in about 30 minutes, too. I'm going to wait and let the market cool from all this stuff coming out. So PCE data is expected at 0.3%. Center this actually. There we go. Yeah, you can check out Top Step right there. I'm not sure why it's not working for you, bro. Also, remember, guys, check out our Discord. Discord's completely free. Doesn't cost anything. Look at that breakdown here, too. I was honestly genuinely thinking about shorting the market. I should have. I should have kept shorting it. All right, guys, 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Stop the annoying music. Do you guys like or dislike this music? I can change it. Let me know. I can't help it. They throw some Christmas music in here. It's called Seasonal Trap. Let me know if you like it or don't like it. I can change it. I like it. Okay. Need battle music for the open. Alright, guys. Here's the opening bell. Good luck, chat. It's good? Okay. Christmas banger. Yeah, I'll leave it up. Alright, so there's the opening bell, guys. Nasdaq's falling down originally since the open. Make the screen a little bit larger. But big dip in the Nasdaq at the opening bell here, guys. Look at this drop. Wow. So that's a drop here. So we're down some now. SPY's down. Nvidia's dropping too. Get myself out the way so I can look at this chart too. Yeah, look at Nvidia falling down at the opening bell here, guys. Wow. Target bouncing back, that's nice. No, I don't take any medication for ADHD. I like my sleep and eating too much. I also don't think it's like good for you. Like I can kind of use ADHD like a superpower if I get hyper focused on something. If I get hyper focused on something, I can really do well. It's build stuff, get passionate about it, create things. You know, and if I take ADD medication, I slow down actually. So I end up just kind of sitting still and not moving, and I'd rather move. You know, as well as like I don't think it's good to take that stuff long term. Well, on ADHD medication, there's too many swings up and down, if that makes sense. Like you're happy in the morning, you're sad afterwards. I'd just rather not. I'd rather more stability. When Nvidia bounce back? No, PCE is at 10 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, what a drop. That's a big drop too. Still dropping too, man. Look at this. I'm gonna buy this up now. One contract, a little bit early for me to trade, but we're just gonna take one. Try to build up a cushion here first. Alright, so we just made a little $15 quickly at the opening bell. I'll take it. Yeah, jiu-jitsu's fun, except for the first month. Honestly, I feel really bad because like at my gym, I didn't really know, right? Nobody told me not to do it, and I kept asking people what I should do, right? But I got decent at it, I think, pretty quickly. Maybe it's my ego, that's possible. But I think I got pretty good at jiu-jitsu quickly, right? Like the guy that taught me how to like the guy that kind of took me under his wing, he was like a more experienced white belt. Within like, I would say within like a month, I was tapping him out over and over again, and he got frustrated and actually left the gym. And one of the reasons was because he said that he couldn't beat, you know, and so I got good pretty quickly. But the mistake that I would make is that you'd have a brand new like trial person in the gym, and I would just go 100% and just smash these people, right? And to me, we're all white belts, and so, you know, they're fair game, right? We're all white belts. But in hindsight, I probably should have taken it a little bit easier on them. Even though I was new as well, right? I probably should have been a little bit easier on them. And if I could go back in time, I would have been. You know. All right, look, Nvidia just cracked lows. Nvidia just cracked lows again here, breaking down. Honestly, my stock portfolio is up a nice amount as well, including BITO. It's up good too. Bitcoin pumping up still. Nvidia falling down. Yeah, I should have been easier on him. If I could go back, I would. But right, so we got our second position here. We've retraced a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it right there because I think it might come back down short term. Maybe not. All right, we got a nice little $30 cushion on the day though. Depends on what you think Nvidia is gonna do here. I think Nvidia could retrace back down to the bottom. I'll have to wait. All right, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna move myself so you guys can't see me for a second. All right, so there's a big crackdown on the low side here. I'm glad I cut that. Sorry guys, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. All right, I'm gonna short this again, see if I can make a little bit more. We'll take 2 contracts now. We got a cushion on the day. I just don't want to get beaten up here. I'm gonna take a piece off of that, even in losses, because I kind of regretted the trade after I got in it too. See if we hold. Nvidia started to turn back down. Okay, now we're green. All right, so we ended up making net profit on that one too. Doing all right so far. Again, these big candle wicks typically fill. I think that's something we talked about a few weeks ago. So if you see me jump in short after these, you know, as long as you're willing to cut it if you're wrong, I think they can have a big edge. All right, chat, remember, PCE inflation data at 10 a.m. You guys red or green so far today, chat? Probably doesn't know whether I should do another poll or what, but we got 23 minutes left, 23. Do me a favor, bump that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're kind of putting in a bottom. I kind of want to buy this dip. We got a cushion on the day already, though. It looks too short. Almost like we're gonna bounce back and trap people. Maybe we'll do a liquidity grab and break lows first, but who knows? I'm not telling you what to do. No freaking idea. I'm watching Nvidia closely here as well. All right, there's Nvidia testing lows too. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this here. All right, we just made another small amount, tiny amount. Not too bad though. Build up some profit here on the day on this. Got a nice little cushion so far this morning. I was gonna buy this too. Nvidia looks like it's coming back. Looks like we're gonna head up right here, to be honest. But I have no idea, guys. Don't copy me. But it looks like we're gonna go up right here. Yep. There we go. Yep. I don't know. Nvidia rejected here too, so we went up some now. Hard to tell what we're gonna do now. Big correction back down. Very choppy Nvidia price action here. I don't know if it's waiting for PCE inflation data or what. But time will tell. Hey, let's get 500 likes in here. We got 330. Also, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're in sub only mode, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Good. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Question is, do we end up trapping here or not? We'll short this now too, but I'm kind of trading against the extension at this point. We get over this line, we gotta cut it. Yeah, so that's our first real loss on the day. Yeah, I think we could get a false breakdown and break up. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, so here's the thing, right? People with actual ADHD, and it's all one thing, right? There's no such thing as like ADD and ADHD. It's all just attention deficit and hyperactivity, right? Like that's the overarching symptoms of it is attention deficit and hyperactivity. You can also like hyper focus and get absolutely obsessed with different things, and so you can hyper focus on people, things, hobbies, interests. You have a hard time sitting down. Like if you ever look at me whenever I'm streaming, sometimes you'll see I'm bouncing, right? And it's not, I have restless legs, so my leg is just constantly like tweaking up and down. But if I take ADHD medicine, I slow down, right? You know, you see people take ADHD medicine and they're zooming around the house cleaning and doing all this stuff. If I take it, I sit down. I don't move. I sit there, sit still. Same reason, like I'll drink Coca-Cola and fall asleep as well. Like coffee will make me fall asleep to a certain extent too, in some instances. And so I think a lot of people think they have ADHD when really they just sit on their phone too much, and that burns their attention span. All right, so we got the fake breakdown, move up like we thought. Thoughts on Lockheed Martin? Not really. I'm not super. I mean, I know the stock, I know the company. I just don't know where they're going. You know, I'm just not a big investor in it. Yeah, my first few months I got my butt kicked in jiu-jitsu, and then about 6 to 8 months in, I hit a learning curve and trained for another 2.5 years. We would be encouraged to roll light and try. Yeah. I kept asking my coach, like, hey, am I going too hard? And they were like, no. His exact words are, I want to teach this class how to be killers. You know? So, I mean, I don't know. Nvidia bouncing back, though. Almost back up to 135. So look at it, Nvidia. It's creeping back up. Everyone has ADD, depends on the subjects. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a difference, though. Right? Like, my daughter and my son are perfect examples. My son, very much like me, super bad ADHD, where he literally wanted to stand up in class instead of sitting down in his chair because he couldn't sit still or stop playing with stuff. My daughter, completely different. We raised him exactly the same, you know. Daughter, super easy for her to sit down, study, super outgoing, social. My son, not any of that stuff. My son's super hyper, jumping around, bouncing around, you know, hard to focus, hard to pay attention, especially if he's not interested in something. Bad impulse control. All right, Bitcoin breaking up here, still moving. Bitcoin up to 95K. Hey, I'm not gonna say I told you guys so, but you love to see it. What would you describe a really severe ADHD case? Bad impulse control, hyperactivity, generally higher intelligence. People with ADHD are generally smarter. At least they have a higher IQ when measured. But I also think it's overdiagnosed. Yeah, bad impulse control, emotional dysregulation, 100%. Oh, he's great at games, you know. Got a high IQ. We got his IQ tested when he was like 7. Super high IQ too. Does well at standardized tests too. I guess he likes taking them. He's focused on them. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. Yeah, I got him in jiu-jitsu from early, and he's good at jiu-jitsu too, man. Surprising enough, like he likes it. Yeah, it's because they get paid, you know, whack. I don't know what to do. I kind of want to buy this, but I also worried about Nvidia turning down up here. I'm gonna go ahead and take some risk. I'm gonna buy this dip. 3 contracts. We're gonna add more contracts to this too. If we break under that line, we're gonna cut it though. We're in 5 contracts now. There we go. All right, so just made another 35 bucks, 40 bucks. I'll take it. Look at that support level hold though. We bounced directly off of it. Yeah, I have some bad habits too, right? Like my bad habits are, if somebody's telling me a story and I'm like hyper focused on the story they're telling me, I'll interrupt. I will tell them a relatable story of my own, trying to relate to them, right? I'm just trying to relate to them, right? I'm trying to show them that I'm actually listening, and then I relate to what they're saying through my own story. But some people take it as like hijacking the conversation, and it's not intentional. If that is the case, you know, I try to apologize to people and let them know like that I'm actually listening to what you're saying, and that's why I'm bringing this up. But you know, some people it's one of those things. Some people get mad about it, some people don't. But I'm bad at that. Like I will immediately tell my own story of things and situations. You know, not trying to hijack it, but trying to tell people I relate to them. Yeah, so there's the bounce right at that support level. The SPY's testing highs up here too. Nvidia's starting to bounce up some as well, but it's still red since the opening bell. The SPY's trying to go green, and the SPY's almost red on the SPY's almost green on the day altogether. Okay. Don't apologize, they are narcissists. And narcissist is wildly over accused. Apparently everybody's ex is a narcissist. You know? And of course they're not. Like, narcissism isn't that common. Some people have egos. It doesn't mean they're a narcissist. Some people have ADHD. It doesn't mean they're a narcissist. Some people have issues. It doesn't mean they're narcissistic. Alright. It's just wildly over accused modern age. All right, so we're very choppy, very flat. I think leading into PCE data in 11 minutes is going to drive this. My friend does the same thing. I mean, it depends on if you dislike the hijacking. Some people like it, right? I think people with ADHD like it because it means somebody's actually paying attention to them. But if you dislike it, just tell them. But the way you tell them is you fluff it with kindness. That's how I tell my wife. If my wife has an uncomfortable conversation to have with like a family member, I always tell them, kill them with kindness first. Tell them all these good things. Be like, hey, you're a great person, a great friend. But stop doing this. And then maybe make a joke out of it, but be serious, right? That's probably the best way. All right, so SPY just retraced a little bit. I'm going to buy this back now. 2 contracts. See if we get a little pop here. There we go. See if we get a little bit more. We can hold the rest flat if it starts to break down, but hopefully not. I'm just gonna, since we got economic data coming soon, I'm just gonna cut it, another little $20 there. Up almost 100 on the day, slowly grinding our way up. Good morning, streamer, sir. Hey, good morning, man. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes left before PCE inflation data is released. 10 minutes. I don't take any medication. Yeah, but narcissism in itself is not that common. Like people, human beings in general, it's not just people, but it's just humans in general. They tend to think about themselves. They do selfish things. They want things that benefit themselves. They're competitive with other people, right? None of that makes you a narcissist, right? Narcissism mostly is driven by empathy, a lack of empathy. Like, do you care about other people, right? If you do, you're not a narcissist, right? If you don't, and you mostly use people to gain your own thing, then you might be. All right, guys, so Bitcoin bounced it up. Bitcoin's at 94.825s. Market's very choppy, very flat. I think the whole market's waiting for PCE data to drop. So I think the whole market's probably waiting here. All right, so SPY is now breaking down here. Nvidia very choppy, very flat. I don't know what to think of this now. We're already up almost 100 on the day. We've made some profit. We have 9 minutes until this big economic report drops, but I use trends in market direction, and then as well as I look at blue chip stocks to see what they're doing, and then try to gauge index trends using it, if that makes sense. All right, guys, 8 minutes left. All right, now we look like we're in downward momentum territory, but we also could be at the bottom of the range here too. So I think it's too ambiguous right now for trends. Looking at trends. Again, PCE inflation data drops very soon here, chat, very soon, 8 minutes. Yeah, I like head and shoulders patterns especially well. All right, there's Nvidia cracking low, so we have some weak action showing up now in charts. Big retracement back up. I'm gonna short this now. One contract though, very small. We're trading light because this report drops soon, and I think it's just kind of hard to dictate trend right now. They're hard to spot trend, I mean. Nvidia's trying to creep up. We're in one contract here, small position. All right, so we just got out for another $25 gain. Very good accuracy this morning. So my day started right here. So far we have had 2 red trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total trades. So 2 out of 13 have been losing trades, and they've all been very small relative to our winning trades. All right, guys, we got 6 minutes left. Yeah, I've taken IQ tests too. I'm not going to say what mine is. It wasn't bad, but if I start to talk about that, then it comes across really braggy, you know? You know, you have the Dunning-Kruger effect. Part of me thinks that Dunning-Kruger, though, smart people know how bad it looks to be arrogantly wrong. And so they typically understate their intelligence versus overstating it, if that makes sense. Right. I think smart people know they're smart, but they know how bad arrogant looks. And so they typically understate it versus less intelligent people who just kind of wildly overstate their intelligence trying to look cool. You ever met somebody, they're like, yeah, I'm really smart, bro. I got such and such IQ, dude. It's like, do you? Coming from the top 3 least IQ people in the world right now. All right, guys. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Right, exactly, Kyle. 100%. Oh, 100%, Matt. If I start talking about it, they're definitely gonna. Y'all ever see that Jubilee episode where the girl was like, they had the dude from the army, and like she was talking about how smart she was, and she put herself out at the top, and she was like the last person. Everybody strives to not be her. All right, guys, 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. Yeah, a lot of people with Asperger's are very intelligent. They just lack social skills. All right, guys, 4 minutes. I've said this before, but the people who do the best in life aren't always the people with the highest IQ, because you have to mesh well with social and society stuff, right? So you can be as smart as you can be, but if you don't have the social skills to back it up and to succeed in business, then it doesn't matter. And sometimes people with the lesser IQs do the best in business because they can repeat tasks over and over again until success. But the people who do the best are people that are fairly smart, but they're also very socially gifted. So they can kind of mesh both, and they get to the top easier than most other people. Anyways, 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. We'll see what Nvidia does. Nvidia's consolidating right at the bottom. Three and a half minutes. Nvidia bouncing right at the bottom of their range, though. Yeah, remember, this report drops. It's expected at 0.3%, guys. 0.3% month to month. On the year, I think it's 2.6. Let me see. Yeah, so core PCE expected at 0.3% year over year, 2.8%. Core PCE is the most important one versus regular PCE. The reason it's more important is because core excludes food and energy. It's just a more real look at inflation. It's actually what the Fed prefers to look at. So the Fed looks at core PCE over every other inflation metric, and they value core PCE over every other inflation metric. So again, core PCE expected at 0.3%. Regular PCE expected at 0.2%. Year over year, regular is expected at 2.3. Year over year, core PCE is expected at 2.8%. And this is inflation data, guys. It's the Fed's preferred inflation metric. Did you see the house who was super smart? You mean Smart House? The GOAT, the greatest movie of all time, Smart House? Is that the Disney movie? Is it Smart House or Smart Home? I think it's Smart House. The guy from Luck of the Irish movie? Oh yeah, Smart House. Yeah. The GOAT movie. I'm gonna watch that with my kids today. Real ones know. Real ones know. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh yeah, the house show. Yeah, I saw that. I saw some of it. I didn't watch all of it. Hey, we got a minute and a half left. Bitcoin futures up to over 95K. Nvidia bouncing back at 134s right now. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Thanks so much, chat. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. We've been day trading on there today. We're up almost $100 today. Almost $100 in gains today. If you want to day trade, try this first. Do not risk thousands of dollars of your own money. You're probably going to lose it. Instead, try this. If you lose it, the base one's only $49 a month. It's not the end of the world if you do lose it. If you pass it, you get 50K in funding, 100K in funding, 150K in funding, or the top one. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. They are an affiliate of mine, so I'm biased, of course. But you can check them out. I'll put the link up. All right, guys, here we go. All right, guys, 30 seconds here, chat. 30 seconds. Now, timer's a little bit early, guys. We got 10 seconds left. Again, 0.3% is what's expected month over month, 0.3%. Here we go. And there we go. It's dropped right now. And the number showed up. They're kind of late. They haven't reported the number. You can see no movement here in markets. They're late. Wonder why. Look, the market hasn't moved it at all. They're late on this number. They're late. No movement yet. 0.3%. I'm looking at some other sources here, but I don't see it. Chicago B came in. Chicago PMI did show up at 40.2 versus 45. Again, we got literally no movement in the NASDAQ or the SPY here. Yeah, let me look at the news releases. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so the page didn't come out. Look at this. So this is the problem, right? So here's the data right here. Like, look at this. Personal income. The page is broken. Weird. Pending home sales data came out. Very strange. 0.3% as expected. 0.3% as expected. Yeah, 0.3% as expected month over month, 2.8% year over year for inflation data. It's weird the page broke though, but yeah, I'm showing 0.3% too. Okay, there it goes. Now it's out. So yeah, 0.2% in October for regular PCE, core PCE 0.3%. So there's the market reaction. So completely flat, essentially 0.3%, 2.8% on the year. Regular showed up. Everything completely flat here. You know, completely flat month to month. We'll put it up on screen, but everything's completely flat month to month. Not really anything crazy. 0.3% for core, 0.2% for regular. Everything completely flat for this report. I'll put it up at the top here. Also, all PCE data was flat month to month, as expected. So yeah, market's now dipping down a little bit here, but I'll put this up on screen a little bit larger now too, so you can see it. We'll try to day trade some of this action now too. Yeah, it was weird. You saw the page break for a second. That was weird. That's probably why we had such a delayed reaction. Now we're moving up some. So inflation data, as expected, completely flat everywhere. PCE data, month to month, 2.2%. Core PCE, month to month, 0.3%. PCE data, as expected, year to year. Core PCE, as expected, year to year. So everything's completely flat. So interesting. And again, check out Top Step if you haven't already. No PDT in futures. You could day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. Patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns. We're up almost $100 today already, day trading this morning. So up almost $100. So far so good. I'm going to short this up here. Might be a little risky, but we're going to try shorting this up here and maybe add to it if we get in the green. You can see how similar day trading futures are to stocks. Very similar to day trading stocks. No PDT in futures though, so I can day trade short, buy market, sell market. No PDT restrictions. See if we get a flush down. Taking some time here though. All right, we're completely flat on this position. We will cut it if we break over the top of this candle. All right, so we're waiting here. And again, you can see how similar this is to day trading stocks. I'm basically day trading the QQQ price action in futures, no PDT restrictions. I can buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. Top Step's the most legit funded program in the world. And the best part is that there's 0 commissions on Top Step X. And so I can trade this with 0 commissions. It's a powerful edge. A lot of people underestimate how useful that is with 0 commissions. I'll put the link up. Yeah, the data's already out. Look right next to me. All right, so we're very close to cutting this. All right, I took half off there. Somehow it gave me profit on that trade. It's taking too long. But yeah, the data's literally right here. Look right here. 0.3% as expected. Core PCE is out. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. This is taking too long. I'm watching Nvidia fall. I don't know whether I should add to this or not. Depends on whether we think Nvidia is going to break down here. It's starting to. So I just added to this 2 contracts now. Nvidia looks weak. We're flat on this position now. And we took half off. Somehow we got out flat there and it completely retraced, but watch Nvidia. Nvidia's right at the low of the day. It's just whether Nvidia can break this low now. We're good. We're green. And I go ahead and cut it right there. So now we're up like decently over 100. Nice little profit on the day so far. Very good accuracy so far today. Let's take a look at my actual stats here. I'm curious. Today we're running at 81%. Very good results today. So yeah, so check these. These are my stats day trading in futures today. Very similar to day trading stocks. And so I've got a good average win versus average loss scenario too. So today we are running at 81% accuracy. Profit factor of 5 to 1. Average win loss, so my wins are about 1.22%, or about 1.22 to 1, the size of my average loss. And so we'll see if we can continue this streak this morning. PCE's already out, guys. It came in completely flat at 0.3% month to month for core PCE. Regular PCE came in at 0.2%, which is both as expected. Year-over-year numbers came in exactly as expected as well. Core PCE year-over-year was expected at 2.8%, and we showed up at 2.8%. Month to month, PCE was expected at 0.2%, and we showed up at 0.2%. So everything was flat as expected for inflation data, and the market really didn't move much from it. Hey, thank you, Wade. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you guys. If you're heading out early today, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. right, so very flat markets here. Look at the SPY trying to edge up. Hey, thank you, Don't. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you guys. I'm sticking around for a little bit. I'll probably try to trade some. It's hot in here, though, man. Hold on. Yeah, but right now my daughter has the flu A. I gotta go take my Tamiflu sometime today, too. The Lions? Wait, how are the Lions doing? Look how slow the market is right now, chat. Wow. Lions are 10-1, bro. Wow, dude. Shout out to Detroit, man. Good for them. Honestly, I'm a Saints fan. My team's not doing that great. I don't even want to talk about the Saints. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the Saints, bro. Nobody remind me of the Saints this year. We had such a great, optimistic year. And then we just dumped, you know. Alright, so the stock market is going to be closed tomorrow. So what are we going to watch tomorrow if I do stream? If I do stream tomorrow, what are we watching? Nvidia just cracked lows again. Like a week. We've been breaking down a little bit too much for me, so I kind of want to buy this, but still. We're already pretty green on the day. What's some good stocks to buy? Lions gonna win the Super Bowl. Hey, good luck. I hope y'all do, man. I really do. My Saints are not gonna win. What are the Bengals at right now? Bengals are 4-7, so they're not about to go to the playoffs either. Yeah. All right, so we're sitting tight here. Again, we're already pretty green on the day. I'm trying to take small positions. I'm going to buy this dip. And then maybe we'll add to it. But we have to be willing to cut it if we break down quickly here. We've just had too much bullish or too much bearish action short term. I'm going to take half of this off just in case we bounce back. But you don't love to see it. First real loss of the day. I probably held on to it too long. Yeah, we got to cut it. So a little $50 loss. Took away some of our profit on the day. But that's all right. You know, we'll come back. Here's the SPY. SPY's testing lows too. The real question is, like, does the SPY hold? Let's see what else we got. Nvidia cracking down here. Glad I got out. Okay, that's good. We got that done. Nvidia's cracking down, breaking this down. So look at the SPY here. And Nvidia dumping down. Look, there's Nvidia broke lows again. So we cracked down a little bit too, but I still think this kind of looks weak. Is it time to rebound back up? We ended up just making a little bit more here just to show you guys. We got into a small little trade. We ended up making, after this trade, just for transparency purposes, we ended up making 16, 27, and then losing 10. So we're kind of back where we were. We're basically flat. I'm looking at stocks now, though. You can trade the micro Bitcoin, Mac. You can trade the micro Bitcoin on Top Step, which is really dope, really cool. And again, if you haven't already checked them out, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. Again, they're an affiliate of mine, so I'm biased for sure. But it really is like a good way to learn day trading with limited risk. Like most day traders end up losing. And so most day traders are going to lose. The good thing about Top Step is that you can get started for less, and if you lose, it's not the end of the world, right? So they give you a demo, they test your skill with a demo account first. If you pass that test, then they fund you, and this limits your risk. Instead of like risking thousands of dollars like most new traders end up doing, this allows you to get started for much, much less, right? A much smaller account. $50 account is much less risk, of course. Much less risk, of course, in a $50 account, and you can ultimately like day trade short, buy market, sell market. Like you can kind of see, I'm playing with this now. We got 3 contracts here. We're down $2. But we actually just made a little bit. We made about $15 in the last trade. So we have somewhat of a cushion. It's still kind of risky though, shorting this. So we're kind of losing here just to transparency purposes. Nvidia keeps breaking down. I was hoping we get a bounce. But now we're retracing back. Still looks weak though, so like I can't really trust it. I'm gonna cut it, most of it, and then we'll see what happens on the rest. Yeah, Nvidia's still breaking down, so we're kind of going back and forth, but very similar to day trading stocks. Very similar to day trading stocks, and I think like before I day traded futures, I didn't realize how similar it was to day trading stocks, right? But it's very, very similar, like very similar. Yeah, we're still decently green on the day. It's just like Nvidia keeps dumping under lows. So we'll see if the NASDAQ can ever bounce and pick up a bottom here. Still looking kind of weak. So we just scalped a really nice session here, catching this bounce. The last contract we're up about $30. So we actually just had a really, really nice string of trades here. Look at this day trading, catching this bounce right here. So we ended up making 12, 3, 5, 4, 9, 7, 10, 20, 22, 34, 30, and 41 on that bounce. The good thing is like per contract on Top Step X, there's 74 cents in fees per contract. So it's tiny. So now on the day today, we are up. We're up $210 basically, right around 210. So I'll take it. You know, green is good. I'll take that nice little W here, trading. And we'll see if we get a continuation. Yeah, we'll see. Change the song. It's making red candles. We're trying to stick around and trade some for you guys, but I tried to trade the micro Bitcoin too the other day. I don't know how I feel about that result. Should I stream tomorrow, guys? Like, is it worth it to stream tomorrow? Be honest, chat. Is it worth it for me to stream tomorrow? I don't know, man. Like, I just don't see a lot going on. Right? There's not really much going on tomorrow, huh? Is there? Not that I know of, man. Bond markets are closed. I think the futures markets are open, but they close early, and the stock market's closed. All right, chat. Nvidia at 133s here. 133s. Hey, what's up, Biggie? GameStop still holding up. Hey, later, Ricky. Have a good day, brother. Yeah, honestly, the market's so slow, man. I mean, Nvidia's breaking down. If you're streaming, I'll watch. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much. Nope, take a day off. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a day off, too. I'll probably take it off. I just don't see much going on. Crypto stream? Yeah, we can watch crypto. Honestly, our crypto portfolio is doing super nice today. Pepsi. Our Pepsi trade's doing really nice, too. So we bought Pepsi earlier, remember? And Pepsi's up big. Do not trade tomorrow, get chopped out. I don't care what you trade. Yeah, we'll probably take it easy. All right, hey, I love you all. You'll have a great day. Get it. Check out Top Step. So far, so good. I'll show you guys my last little run through of data here. So far, so good. Here's today's results. I will take it. We're up about 210 to start the day. So our accuracy went down. But here's today's results. So we're running about 71% accuracy today, $210 in profit, almost 1-to-1 win to loss ratio. Could do a little bit better, but that's okay. But that's my stats today. I'll take it. Pretty good. Pretty good. We'll see if we get anything moving forward, but very choppy day. Again, if you want to check out Top Step, link is in the description. Just a great way to learn how to day trade, to be honest. Most day traders lose. So try this test first. If you pass it, you get a 90% split funded and all that cool stuff. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. So, yeah. All right, guys. Hey, I love you all. You'll have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow. Maybe Thursday. If it's not tomorrow, you'll have a great day. I'll see you guys Thursday. Maybe we could trade some Bitcoin tomorrow. If we do stream, that's probably what we're going to do. But, hey, I love you all. You'll have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Guys, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Don't copy me. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.